Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
There were some shows I was thinking about that is like, it's kind of like a crime that we didn't include them. Dora the Explorer.
You know what? I know you're shit talking. I know you're shit talking, but when you say it, that genuinely might have made it past the first round, depending on me.
Look, all right. I was completely taking the shit. I don't think that would have. What would it have taken as a show to be beaten by Dora the Explorer?
I don't know, be The Office or some shit.
You know what? You got me there.
Yeah, be a show that you just fucking hate for no reason.
It's not.
Or I don't know, be like
Itaewon
Class or something.
Nothing in The Office.
Tell me the basic premise of the show. Okay, well here's the basic cliff notes of the show. Oh, the show sounds too basic. I don't like it.
I did.
That's what you fucking did. Ellie was listening to it in the editing, and she was like, wow, he asked for the basic plot points, and then he said that the plot points sound too basic.
No, not that. No. I asked for the basic premise.
Yeah?
And then what I got didn't sound that interesting.
But it is interesting.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm not a salesman. I didn't make Itaewon Class. I watched it all and I thought it was a very good television show.
Okay, that's great. And I'm sure I would enjoy it, but what did it lose to?
Ricky Gervais show.
I still don't think I would have... Even
That's
if
not the point, man. The point is that you just fucking dragged it to hell for sounding basic, and that's all
You're
you
making it
asked
sound
for.
like I sat there and went, this sounds like the worst show ever, I don't like it.
No, but you did say that it sounds really basic. And it's like you asked for the basic shit.
I said it sounds like there's not much in it that other shows haven't done, which
But
you can't say for Ricky
matter?
Gervais.
Why does that matter?
Because we're comparing two shows together, and when you compare Ricky Gervais, which is a different, unique type of show, to that, I'm gonna go with Ricky Gervais.
Oh, animated clips of a podcast? Oh, it's three men talking. That sounds like another show where three men talk. Oh. That's what you sound like.
But is there a television show like that?
What, three men talking?
No, an animated podcast. Is there a television? You fuck. Is there an animated podcast on TV that you can think of other than the Ricky Gervais show?
Harmon Quest.
Harmon Quest? That's like so new. It took that
long. Oh, fuck off. You asked me for a fucking example.
But what I'm saying is it took that long.
Oh, that's new shit. What do you want? A show from the 60s? I Love Lucy? That wasn't a podcast.
What I'm saying, you ass, is that it was an original idea when it came out, which Itaewon Class did not.
Oh, so we only like original ideas, no like rehashes of a genre. It was
just 1 point of comparison. God!
I just think you should watch this show. That's all I think.
Sure, I didn't say I'll never watch it. I never said I'll never watch it.
Yeah, but I know you, and I know how you are, because you'll leave these things open just so that you can say you've never closed the door on it, but then that means it's on an indefinite fucking hiatus, which means it could be 20 fucking years before you do anything. And like the 20 years up to that point is just me asking, hey, do you still want to do this? And you're like, yeah. Are you going to do it? Yeah. When?
You're right. You never do that.
Yeah. We both do it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's why we're friends.
So shut your trap.
So fuck off, my friend, and let's continue this fucking tournament, shall we?
We're in a good starting mood. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bitter Chatter. I am, of course, Carmine Antonelli, and with me is Sam Brooks. And we are about to kick off our second round of this TV tournament, and we're of the assumption that the rest of this tournament will go by a little bit quicker, just because we won't have to give the overviews of these shows anymore. But obviously, there will still be discussion when we're comparing them together, like what just fucking happened. But yeah, let's just run through the door and get right into it. What do we have first to start round two?
To start round two, we have The Simpsons versus Top Gear.
All right, so two long-running comedies. It, I think, immediately has to go to the conversation of consistency.
I think both of these suffer from the same problem, being that there's a lot more of The Simpsons that's bad than good. The Top Gear isn't quite in that territory yet, but depending on how long they keep making it for, we are going to eventually get to that point.
Well, it's interesting you say that because when we discussed Top Gear in round 1, we specified we're only going to talk about the Jeremy Clarkson run.
It seems weird that we're only discussing a certain bit of this show, and yet we're considering the entirety of The Simpsons.
I mean, that's the groundwork we laid in round 1. I'm just continuing that.
I think it would be unfair. I think we should, be level playing field. We
All right.
either discuss all of Top Gear or only the good parts of The Simpsons.
Fair enough. Then let's all of Top Gear, because I don't think you can talk about The Simpsons without talking about the fact that 2/3 of it is not good.
Yeah, so you have different hosts, in different seasons. We had a radio guy. Funnily enough, he's named Chris Evans, but he's not that Chris Evans. He's
Right.
a different Chris Evans. He's a radio presenter. Everyone hated him on there, so he left after one season.
Matt LeBlanc was on one season, I
Matt
think.
LeBlanc was on, I think, at least 2 of them.
Oh.
He was part of a reboot with Chris Evans, but then Chris Evans got fired or something, so he stayed on with a couple of new people.
And,
I honestly don't know their names. They're, not even well known in this country, so...
What is Top Gear but Matt LeBlanc persevering?
Yeah. You happy with that? You happy with that
No.
fucking joke? No.
Not.
No. Write in if you're happy with it. bitterchatpodcast@gmail.com.
Bitter Chatter Podcast.
That's what I said.
All right.
So, I feel like, yeah, we're approaching that sort of territory with Top Gear now, wherein, the more they make it, the bad, not even bad,
How many-
it's acceptable, but it's not the same, you know?
Sure. How many seasons have there been without Jeremy and the guys?
Ooh, boy, let's have a look at the Wikipedia page and then hopefully get some answers on that, because,
And also, how many seasons were with them?
I think it's 23. Bearing in mind, I think each season has, there's different levels of episodes, and then they had a load of, what they call specials,
Right.
wherein it's like a feature-length endeavor, where it's a couple hours, instead of 1 hour, wherein, I think it's where a lot of the moments come from, because they had, specials where the United States episode. On a
Sure,
budget
yeah.
of $1,000, choose a car and drive from Miami to New Orleans across 4 states in secondhand American cars.
That's such a... I know that, to the British perspective, that feels like such a long way. But as far as, percentage of America, that's, such a not huge amount.
Well, it's not even about, the length of it. It's about what they did in this special.
Fair enough.
Because they went through the South.
Yeah. That territory, you go through Georgia, Alabama, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before they went into Alabama, they each decided to paint each other's cars with slogans that could lead to them getting shot by the locals.
Jesus Christ.
So James May gave Richard Hammond's car a homosexual type appearance
Oh,
with
yay.
slogans. Then Richard painted "Country and Western is rubbish" on Jeremy Clarkson's car. And then Jeremy painted "Hillary for President, NASCAR sucks," and "I'm bi" on James May's car.
Oh, I love that so much.
It's actually terrifying though, because they were at the point where they got to a filling station and it offended the owner so much that they had to fucking literally get out of the fucking state because they were being pelted with rocks.
Oh, wow.
They were actually assaulted for it.
That's such a great call out.
They were literally chased by angered locals, and James May's car wouldn't fucking start, so he had to get a jump start, and it was the most fucking terrifying thing.
All right, so we have 22 seasons with these 3 boys. How many without?
What are we on? We hit 30.
So 8. All right.
Yeah.
So just under a third of Top Gear is not great. Compare that to 2/3 of Simpsons being not good. So the percentage...
But that 1/3 that is good is so good.
That is true.
You
I
can't
don't
undersell
know-
that.
But the thing is, you can't undersell that. But when we're just comparing the two of them, the 2/3 of Top Gear that's good is also really, really strong.
I wouldn't say stronger than The Simpsons.
No, but...
Like, sure, you can name a couple of, like, Top Gear, like, specials and episodes and everything with hilarious moments, but I feel like there's a lot more Simpsons episodes, like, in terms of volume, that are better.
And you know, another thing about it for me, and I'm not just trying to go against The Simpsons, because as we said in round one, I absolutely love The Simpsons. That part of it that's good is it'll never stop being funny to me. Another part of it, though, for Top Gear's case, is that the three of them continue to be funny, and even though they're not on the show and they're doing a different show, when you see them, you don't think that they've gotten any worse. You know that they're still funny. And when you look at...
Some might say that they're a little bit tired at this point.
I mean, sure, they're literally old, tired men, but...
They were always old and tired, but...
Exactly.
Even by their standards, they're slipping a little bit, I think. That's what I've heard, anyway. I've heard a lot of people say that the new show isn't, like, that good.
But then you look at Homer Simpson, and be honest with yourself, what's the first thing that comes to mind? If you see a recent, like, picture of Homer Simpson...
Okay, I'm thinking about Homer Simpson.
What's the first emotion that pops in your head?
Dough.
Is that an emotion?
It's annoyance, I suppose. Just dough.
Annoyance.
Dough.
Well, I mean, your emotion, not his.
Oh, my emotion. Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Because it's like, what do you think of?
Well, I think of the early seasons where he was dim-witted, a bit misguided, but at his core, like a good person.
See, that's
he
great.
wanted to be a good father for his kids and like a supportive husband at times. Like obviously he had his slipping moments where he like was on the table with the belly dancer and all of that stuff. But then you have to think about the episode where where Bart and Nelson, Martin, and Milhouse to like take a car, like saying they're going to the grammar rodeo, but really they're just going on like a field trip to the it's the Nashville like World's Fair or something.
Oh yeah.
But it's from like a really old book, so they're years and years late, so the sun sphere is just filled with wigs. And that's what people remember about that episode, but like the subplot is Homer spending time with Lisa at his workplace. Yeah. And like you see them bond over like stuff, and it's really nice and heartwarming. I think about those moments more.
See, the first thing that pops in my head is recent jerk-ass Homer, which sucks.
Well, I ignore that because that's not my Homer. # not my Homer. Like,
but
you know,
my point is just that I can't ignore it, and I feel like a lot of people can't.
I'm not booting out The Simpsons over Top Gear.
I
appreciate the discourse and I like the open discussions, but that good Simpsons shit is too good.
You're right. It's just that there's so much bad now. And I just know it's going to catch up with Simpsons at some point in this tournament.
It will catch up with it at some point. Just why nip it in the bud early? Why now? Not for Top Gear. Personally, I don't think anyway.
I'm shocked that you're so dismissive of Top Gear. I know I love it to death every time
good,
I see something from it.
But you know, it's not fucking $1 million birthday prize.
I kind of want this one to go to the coin flip.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The Simpsons out in the second round. Are you sure about this?
Potentially. Let's put it in the hands of fate.
Considering the amount of fucking buys we already have, what's one more?
I don't think Simpsons is ever going to be a buy.
Alright. I don't agree with this, but in the sense of fairness, let's do it, okay?
Yeah, it's a total 50-50.
Alright. What do you want it to be?
Simpsons should be heads.
Okay.
Because I just imagine Homer's head on a coin.
It's heads.
Okay, there you go. So it goes another round.
Honest Abe did me a favor.
So let's see. Let's see how far it gets.
Alrighty, Simpsons advances into the third round. How many rounds are there of this tournament? There's
64 spot
6.
tournament. Yeah.
So we've got round 3 now, then we have round 4, then the semifinals, then the finals. So
yes,
we can at least get it to the stupendous 16.
I'm also of the belief that I think Scrubs is a dark horse to win this tournament after it toppled Ava. Which
I don't know, man. I feel like there may be a couple of sleeper hits that we're maybe not considering here, but
after we got through round one and started talking about Scrubs, you mentioned that you saw more clips of Scrubs on TikTok and shit and started remembering
it's not
how
even
good
just
it is.
Scrubs though. It's just pretty much all the shows that we've been discussing. Like I see you, phone. I know you're fucking listening to me. The CIA is showing me clips of JD and the sex gong. It's what it's doing. It's driving me crazy.
But you were sending these clips to me and being like, I forgot how good the show actually was.
You did a lot of these are good. That's why they were in the thing in the first place, yeah?
I mean, yes, of course.
So moving on. Fairly Odd Parents and Teen Titans.
For the same reason I voted for it in round one, I have to go with Teen Titans because it has that great balance of good comedy and good drama.
Yeah, but there's a lot of Fairly Odd Parents that we didn't even include in the initial discussions. Like a lot of characters we didn't look at.
Like who?
Remember Mark the Alien?
Yeah.
Mindy, I love you, and I want and Chip
You
Skylark.
like a Homer voice.
What do you mean? I wasn't Homer.
Timmy.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. All right. No, it's Mark, the foreign exchange student who falls in love with Vicky.
Yeah.
Timmy's
talk about Vicky.
Vicky, sure, she's all right.
She's a great villain.
Classic antagonist, sure.
Dinkelberg.
Timmy's dad. Timmy's dad. Like, come on. Jimmy's mom and Timmy's dad. That's like the quintessential parents from both universes.
I mean, even Timmy's mom.
Even Timmy's mom. But,
Yeah.
you know, the internet memes on Jimmy's dad quite a lot.
Timmy's dad.
That's what I said.
Nah, alright. But yeah.
No, hang on. Fuck it, alright? The Dinkelberg man. The man who hates Dinkelberg. This is where I put a trophy if I had one. Huh?
Well, everyone calls him Dad. We don't actually know what his name is.
Is that true? Do we still not know?
Yeah, because there was an episode where we saw them as children, the parents, and they did the same. They did the same joke twice with both of them. Where like they were talking to Timmy, and it's like, yeah, and then and a truck goes by, like completely muffling what they say, and it's like, but everyone calls me Dad.
Yeah, I remember that. Dark Laser.
Oh yeah, Dark Laser.
Dark Laser, yeah. Tootie.
Sure.
The girl.
Uh-huh.
Doug Dimmadome, huh? Doug Dimmadome, no?
Doug
Dimmadome, Doug Dimmadome, ding dang, Dimmadome, Doug Dimmadome, ding dang, Dimmadome, ding so, Dimmadome, ding dang, Doug Dimmadome, Doug ding dang, Dimmadome.
You have to stop. I'm gonna have a stroke.
I'm having one. Can't you tell?
To
return to my name is Doug Dimmadale, Doug Dimmadale. Sorry, I notice I'm wheezing a lot in these moments, but
it's my life. If we're gonna start
the laugh I've
apologizing for
adopted,
wheezing,
I'm
then
sorry.
I just have to like cancel myself.
Yeah, let's cancel each other before the rest of us can.
Right. But no, yeah. I mean, Fairly Odd Parents was a great show. Again, though, we mentioned this in round one. It ran into some issues later in its run, where it dipped in quality, and Teen Titans didn't.
Yeah, but it's another question of dense, good series to long-running, occasionally slipped series, you know?
How many seasons was Teen Titans?
I think it was only 4. I'm pretty sure. Might have been 5?
5 seasons, yeah.
5 seasons, right. But then...
It's not that short.
Well, Fairly Odd Parents had, technically 10 seasons and, like, a couple of movies. It was weird. Because, like, the first 8 seasons were consistent, and then they had a couple of films. Then they had a season 9. Then they had another film. Then they had season 10, which ended it.
When did Poof get introduced? Because we can all kind of agree that was...
that was the jumping the shark moment. Yeah.
So whenever that was when it started dipping. Season
6.
6.
After a one-year hiatus, Nickelodeon announced they would begin the 6th season, which would consist of 12 episodes, alongside the broadcast of a television film called Fairly Odd Baby, which introduced the baby fairy Poof.
This is actually much closer than we originally thought, because we have 5 good seasons of each show. It's just that one of them stopped at that point, and the other one continued and dipped.
What do you put more value in? Do you put more value in Teen Titans or Fairly Odd Parents?
For me, it's that balance of comedy and drama, which I think was just so strong. I have to go Teen Titans.
We can't keep coin flipping. Like,
are you going to go Fairly Odd Parents over Teen Titans?
I don't know. They're both really good. It's just whenever I think of Teen Titans, I think, oh, that was really cool. But then I think of Fairly Odd Parents, and I think, oh, that was really funny. So really, it's a question of whether I put more value in cool or funny.
But you're ignoring the comedy from Teen Titans when you just say that.
It was never primarily a comedy show, though. That's what I mean.
But sure, but it had good comedy in it, despite that.
Yeah, but Fairly Odd Parents had more.
Just by percentage, because that's all that show was.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean when I say, do I consider comedy or cool, you know?
I think a show is more valuable when it can do both.
Yeah, I think you're right, honestly. And can we just take a moment to talk about Teen Titans Go?
I would rather not.
No, only because we've had a couple of listeners who've said, like, when you talk about Teen Titans, are you talking about the original series or the Go series?
It's only the original.
It's definitely only the original, because Go is such a fucking homogenized, like... I feel like it would be good if it weren't Teen Titans, you know?
Maybe. I know there are
like,
people
it's probably, like, middling by itself, but because it's Teen Titans, which was, like, following this series, like, it just kind of set itself up for failure.
Yeah, and I know there are people that enjoy Teen Titans Go. I don't know where they are. I've never spoken to them personally, but...
I don't know if they exist.
I've heard they exist. I've never seen a bit from it that I thought that was funny. Like, never. So it's not.
You know what? I'm remembering the subplot with Beast Boy and Terra, and I think, that kind of seals the deal for me. I never felt emotionally connected to Fairly Odd Parents in such a way.
Timmy Turner
didn't
have an episode where he had to fight a superior robot, and then had to realize that the advantage he had over the superior robot was his human element.
I swear there was a giant robot at one point.
Oh, sure, but they were always for goofs and gaffs, never a dramatic episode.
Remember that really dramatic episode of Fairly Odd Parents? Moving on. Amazing World of Gumball versus Rick and Morty. I gotta go Gumball. I don't like Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
we've been over this. And the fact that you gotta think about it, like, Gumball took out Game of Thrones. We have to at least put some stock into it for that reason alone.
No. We can't start.
And besides
doing that.
I went back and I watched the show a little bit. Like, oh my god, it's so much better than I remember.
It's great. I don't think it should have beat Game of Thrones, but I'm not.
Well, that's in the past.
I'm not subscribing to we have to put merit into what it beat, because that one especially was by a coin flip. So, no. No, that wasn't by a coin flip.
That was by delegation to the resident simp.
Yeah, that was LA. But still, I'm not going to factor that.
Even regarding all of that, I still put it over Rick and Morty.
I agree.
Oh, you agree?
I like Rick and Morty a lot, but it's like, I think I said in round 1, if Gumball was going up against anything else, I would have voted Gumball, but because it was Game of Thrones, I had to go Game of Thrones. But this time, I'll go Gumball.
Yeah, you put more value in that show over Rick and Morty. Because I never heard you talk at length about Gumball at any point. I always,
No, because I don't think I've really sat down and watched episodes of it, but every time I see something from it, I enjoy it.
You know, that's fair. I think that's alright.
I do love Rick and Morty. I just think, especially as a children's show, Gumball holds a lot of value in being good at that, and also being enjoyable by adults.
And plus, it has a lot of subplots as well that are quite interesting. Like, you've got the character of Darwin, who's like an allegory for adoption, because he's a goldfish and all of that. Mm-hmm. And like the wide, varied cast of the emo ghost, the banana, the paper bear, the dinosaur.
Yeah. So,
and again, the dad character is also a legend in this TV series.
Yeah. The other thing is that I just acknowledge the fact that Rick and Morty's humor is not for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like Gumball is more widely for everyone.
Yeah, Gumball's more widely available or
That's
accessible.
fair.
So
You know what?
I'll go Gumball.
We're comfortable with this. Gumball wins! Into the third round you go. Carry on, my dark horse. I salute thee.
I don't think it's gonna. No, I'm still leaning Scrubs on that, but yeah.
Well, we'll see. Haha! This next bracket's going to be quite interesting based on recent discoveries, isn't it?
Okay.
Ed, and Eddie versus the IT crowd.
Ooh, yeah, because I've been seeing more IT crowd lately, and
I've made it a point to show you more clips from it.
I've very much been enjoying it.
Yeah.
However,
you have to factor in the nostalgia.
it's not even just nostalgia. I recently was watching some Ed, and Eddie and was consistently laughing. Not to say I'm not consistently laughing at IT crowd, but I just know that there's so much of Ed, and Eddie that is still good. Like, it holds up so well. It's very difficult for me to not lean towards Ed, and Eddie.
I will say this. I think that we've already put through a lot of animated mediums.
I was just thinking
and
that.
cartoons. Like, literally, we have The Simpsons, Teen Titans, and Amazing World of Gumball.
Everything
already
in
in the
round 3
third
so
round.
far is a cartoon.
And then Ed, and Eddie's cartoon. Next bracket, 2 cartoons. Next bracket after that, a cartoon. Next bracket after that, a cartoon. Like, I feel like we need some more variety. And that's not to downplay Ed, and Eddie at all. I just think that the merits of the IT crowd can't be dismissed.
No, they're not
Like,
dismissed.
because it's a real life medium.
But I also think if we're going to start talking about we already have so many cartoons, that's dismissing Ed, and Eddie. And I think we just have to take it matchup by matchup. And it just so happens.
I don't want to be those guys that are like, oh, we're incorporating all of these different genres and all of these different mediums, but we're only going to vote for the cartoons because we're secretly children.
Well, we did incorporate all these mediums, and it just so happens that the way it's playing out so far is it's a lot of cartoons. But
We should have had one half be cartoons. This is what happens when it's a completely random seed that I decide to input in randomly. It's not even, like, planned by genre or anything. I feel like that screwed us over quite a bit.
maybe, but I don't think it's detracting from this at all. I think...
Well, it's not a detraction. It's just a pain in the ass because now I have to decide between fucking Ed, and Eddie and the IT crowd. We're going to learn from this in future tournaments, it should be said.
Of course. This is our first arc.
This is our first arc. It's not always like this. The writers are just finding their feet.
Right.
There they are on the floor.
Yeah, I found it. I'm still leaning
so
at
funny.
Eddie on this one.
You really think so?
Yeah.
I don't want to rock the boat and just have this whole episode be arguments, because...
Hey, if you're steadfast in your decision on IT crowd, I can't argue with that.
But then the same could be said for you and Ed, and Eddie. Like, I love Ed,
Then
and
we
Eddie.
then we go to coin flip. There's nothing wrong with going to
But
coin flip.
the coin flip, the fucking eliminates the point.
What?
Sorry, I turned into a phone there for a second. I mean, like, if we were just gonna do like this many coin flips, why not have every single decision be a coin flip? Because we like all of these shows anyway.
It's the nature of a two-party system that we've got here.
Well, then we need a third party. Let's delegate to the resident simp, shall we?
All right, Ellie Wilmer, let's see what they have to say.
Let's see if they're even awake.
That's true. If not,
It might
you gotta
be
go to
napping.
coin flip.
They have to get up early tomorrow
There you go.
for Bang Bang Con.
Really?
Yes.
I was meaning to
So
ask you about conventions because I just recently found out about one. And I know that you're not so much in the horror stuff, but I know Ellie is. Did you guys ever go to did she ever take you to SawCon?
Yeah, haha, Sorcon these nuts. I've already
Fuck!
made that joke before. Haha, you suck.
You never know.
Haha. It's like, well, I mean, we were going to go, but then they came down with a case of Ligma.
Yeah. You think
Ligma balls!
I tried to get you a SawCon. You think I don't know Ligma?
the fucking bird! They're awake. They don't know what to choose. Let's give them a minute. All right. The IT crowd.
Yeah, it's good.
Is there a way that you can even watch it in America?
I don't know. That's actually a good question. I think it's on our Netflix. Maybe. Let me check right now.
Because I've been showing you clips on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, those are funny, but like, if you're gonna watch it, you might as well watch it.
The IT crowd.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
we have a verdict.
Yeah. Well, what'd they pick?
IT crowd.
All right, fair enough.
We love Ed, Ed, and Eddie so much, but you know.
Yeah,
this
sure, why
is
not?
the internet.
I'm not upset about this one.
The elders of the internet are pleased. Oh, there's another episode I forgot to tell you about. There's this new movie that's out in their universe that's like really cool, but they can't watch it on their in their shitty little apartment, Roy and Moss, because it's like really tiny. So they somehow managed to get into the abode of a cannibal.
Okay.
Who's like putting out adverts for like wanting to eat someone. So they take up that offer because he has a really nice house and a home cinema system. So they're
sounds like an Always Sunny idea.
They go to the house with the premise that he can eat moss, but first his dying wish is to watch this movie on the home cinema system. And they plan to just leg it out afterwards, but the police come to arrest them because the DVD is a pirate copy.
Oh my Jesus Christ. This sounds like an Always Sunny episode.
The interrogation room. They're like, oh God, we're being interviewed because he's a cannibal and we enabled illegal activities. But they're like, where'd you get this DVD? You know, it's illegal to copy DVDs.
Jesus
It's like,
Christ.
That man was a cannibal. He was going to eat me. Oh, I didn't know about this. I'll take that up with the superiors. Anyway, boom, where'd you get this DVD?
Oh God.
That's a funny one. So yeah, IT crowd.
I think what's gonna eventually bite IT crowd for me, which might have
is the fact that you haven't really seen a full episode.
No, it's the fact that there will be some elements of cringe humor. Obviously, not a ton.
I mean, I don't think it's as cringy as you would like to believe. I think it's got a good balance.
It's not The Office, but
it's not Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right, but it's there's some.
It's not even Always Sunny levels.
No, it's actually
there's a chart, there's a scale.
I don't know how the fuck I enjoy Always Sunny. I really don't, but I do.
No, it's crazy. But anyway, next round we have two cartoons.
Hey,
funny animation. Futurama versus Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
Futurama
man.
for me because I still haven't seen Avatar. I'm sorry.
I feel like you're taking that too harshly against Avatar.
I literally have like nothing to base my beliefs on other than your word, and it's not to say that I don't trust your word, it's just that I've seen so many episodes of Futurama that I love and revere that does it for me more.
This conversation is going to keep happening as long as Avatar's in this tournament, so I feel like as a mercy kill,
you're putting it out of its misery. Holy
yeah,
shit.
because it's just going to keep becoming this conversation, and it's not going to win. Because
well, that's fair. But, I mean, there's definitely at least one show in this upcoming bracket that's going to be the same for me. Like, you haven't seen it, but I love it to death. So we gotta take that into account.
Yeah.
The Futurama,
but I
man,
do
it's
also
so good.
love Futurama, so it's not
so
like
good.
It's not like I'm putting Avatar up against something I don't like, so I'm fine.
I feel like
with...
a good indicator of like advancing shows is if we can like round off a specific episode that we enjoy, or even multiple. Because if we can't,
my favorite that comes to mind for Futurama is fucking the one where he gets Fry gets put in the asylum and has to convince everyone he's not crazy. And I love the way. This is your new roommate. He has short-term memory loss, and you can't surprise him. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, pleasure to meet you. Actually, we've met once before. What?
And an episode for me is when Bender like pretends to be a female athlete in the Robo Olympics.
I don't remember that one.
He pretends to be like an athlete for the Robo Olympics, so I don't know why. I think it's just because he wants to do it. And he wants to get like a medal or something, so...
That makes sense.
He puts on like a fucking head shawl, like he's a fucking babushka, and just competes in all of these events, and because he's a male robot, he advances like to all of them, but then at the end of the podiums, they have to do gender testing, so he becomes transgender, so that he can uphold the win, and he's like, I'm ready for my test now, boys. And he becomes like a fucking like curvy woman and shit, and then gets into a relationship with Calculon
Oh my god.
and tries to have sex with Bender.
As you're describing it, I feel like I vaguely remember this, but I can't, like... It's not fully clicking?
It's one of the good ones.
No, it sounds good.
Yeah.
But
Futurama.
yeah, I got no problem going with Futurama here.
Next one. Regular Show versus Curb Your Enthusiasm. I have to go with Regular Show.
Really?
As much as Curb is good, like, and I laugh at the things, I can understand that it's not for everybody, and it does have a lot of cringe humor, which, you know, good for some, good for not. But
I didn't.
Regular
like
Show,
Regular Show
I
as
watched an
much.
episode before we started recording, and it's still really fucking good and really hilarious.
I've never heard you talk about Regular Show. I didn't know you like it this much.
There's an episode I watched, it's called Sugar Rush, where their boss, Benson, tells them to go and pick up some donuts for the morning meeting. But they have to get him a whole meal donut. He says it like that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's whole wheat, sorry. Whole wheat donut. And then Rigby's like, do you mean a bagel? He's like, no, a whole wheat donut. So they go and get that one first, and then they get like a load more double glazed like apple cinnamon things that are like deemed too sugary for human consumption. And then Mordecai's like, we will give you $10, and the guy's like, okay, is that for here to go? So they take that, but then one of the other characters, Pops, who's like, he looks like a lollipop. He's got like a really round head.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. He eats one of them and goes into like a sugar rush.
Oh my god.
So then they're like freaking out because he's like being all hyperactive and shit before the meeting. And so they go to see their friend Skips, who I'm pretty sure is voiced by Mark Hamill, who's like a Yeti. Yeah, he says, the only way to get him out of a sugar rush is to give him more sugar. So they just give him the whole box and then he phases into another dimension.
What the fuck?
Because he's had so much sugar, he's on like a different plane of existence where everything is slow. So they all have so much sugar that they go and try to rescue him. But then they decide the only way to get out of this is to have more sugar. So they have more sugar, and then they go into a nightmare world. It's like really distorted and shit. And then they realize, no, it's the opposite of more sugar. It's the whole wheat donut.
What?
So they take bits of that, because it's the opposite of sugar. There's no sugar, it's just whole wheat. So they go in between phases and everything, and they get back to the house and everything, and it's really good. It's really funny.
All right, fair enough.
The episode argument. I can give you that episode. I can only give you moments from Curb.
Yeah, and I don't particularly enjoy Curb, so I have no issue going Regular Show here.
Like the bit in the cinema where he tries to get into, like, he's in the middle aisle and he asks this woman on like the edge to like move in so he can go, and she gets all huffy about it, and like the way that his pants are like made, he's got like a ripple like where the zipper is, so it looks like he has a boner all the time. But he doesn't, so the woman thinks that he has an erection that's been put in her face, and she gets all mad about it, and he's like, I thought it's just the pants, it's just how my pants are. You psycho.
I don't know why your impression was funnier than the joke.
With the pants.
But it's just the pants.
That's not how he talks at all. I'm sorry.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, Larry David, if you're listening.
Yeah, there's
Anyway.
definitely bits from that I'll still find funny. But let's go Regular Show.
All right, next bracket. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Something I noticed in the first round is that we didn't really surmise what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, what it's about, or why it's important to us. And so I feel like any of my friends that are listening are going to be like, why is this a foregone conclusion? I'm so confused.
Yeah, what I feel like JoJo's holds really well is the fact that there's something in it for almost anyone, because it is a multi-generational story separated into different parts, and every part has its own main character, supporting cast, setting, and plot. They're all different from each other, but linked through this one family, which is the Joestar family, and every main character has the syllable Jo in 2 places in their name somewhere, except for in part 4, where that only makes sense if you're Japanese. Each part has its own themes and different things in it that even if you don't like 7 out of the 8 parts that are currently available, you're gonna like at least one of them. And because it's separated in this way, you can enjoy one part by itself. Obviously, there's a bigger enjoyment if you see it all the way through and enjoy it all in their contexts and how they're linked. But each part can be enjoyed separately. It was designed that way by the author. So part 1, it's basically Castlevania. You got this old 1800s English environment, and it's a vampire story with some wild supernatural sun-like karate and the crazy nonsense that goes along with that. In part 2, it's like people often compare it to Indiana Jones. You've got your charismatic main character doing a somewhat world-scaling adventure trying to fight fucking Aztec fitness gods that emerge from rock. Then in part 3, you have a real around the world in 80 days sort of scenario to save the main character's mom from the curse of this returning vampire. In part 4, you have small town adventure with a serial killer injected in there, and you don't know where he is. Part 5, it's the Italian mob and trying to overthrow the boss of that mob to create a safe mob with no drugs. And then in part, it just keeps going. And there's something for anyone in JoJo's, which I think is what makes it such a popular series. And the people that get into it, even though it is this crazy, esoteric, like, lives up to the name JoJo's.
Yeah, that's the word I'd best use to describe a lot of it, because, I mean, it's called fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right?
And it lives up to that name.
You start with, like, fucking fighting vampires in, like, the Victorian era, and then you go to an Italian boy who's 15, like, drinking piss in a cafe, but he didn't actually drink the piss because he has a magical stand ability that allows him to turn things into living things, so he turned one of his teeth into a jellyfish that absorbed the moisture.
Right.
So he didn't drink the pee?
But he made everyone think he drank the pee, and they thought he was super cool.
How bizarre.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is that it's such an influential show, a series in the anime world. It's been around since the late 80s, and it has inspired and directly influenced almost every series that has come since then. It has touched so many things. Its DNA is in so many other anime that it's you can't even count them all. And that alone makes it so, like, important in the scope of anime, but also just everyone that gets into this series becomes obsessed. Like, you can't.
It's like crack.
I don't think I've met a JoJo's fan that is like, oh yeah, JoJo's, that's all right. Like, yeah, I'll watch that every once in a while.
You either love it or you're like, oh.
And there are people that try to get into it, and it's like, this is too much for me. I can't get into it. It's like, that's totally fine. It's fucking weird. But the people that like it, love it.
Banging soundtrack is something we should mention.
Also that.
It's been
the anime
used
adaptation...
in memes, you know, the fucking Giorno theme. Do, 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 do.
The anime adaptation has been stellar.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
other than maybe
there's
part
weaknesses.
1 and 2.
There's no, not even that. There's some animation weaknesses as it progresses, like some like
as it
details.
progresses.
Yeah, some detailed characters in like part 4 and part 5, like they just look like they were drawn by like a 5-year-old in some shots.
Well, that just comes from any anime adaptation. You run into that all the time with animation errors and inconsistencies due to time restraints.
But we're going up against like Fresh Prince here, and like no background
it didn't have
characters.
to be animated.
Like, Uncle Phil was never just a circle, you know.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna hold that against it, because that's a difficulty that any animated show is gonna have going up against a live action show.
Fresh Prince is incredible.
Yes. However, I don't remember what show we were talking about in round 1. I think it was Power Rangers, where we said, it's very 90s.
Yeah, it does have... I don't even think it's a problem. It's just, like, depending on what you're into. If you're into, like, timeless media, then that's fine, because JoJo's goes through many different time periods. Like,
Yes.
But Fresh Prince is primarily stuck in the 90s. I don't think it's a problem per se. It's just whether you put stock or value into timeless things or like period pieces.
Well,
I don't want to call Fresh Prince of Bel-Air a fucking period piece, but it kind of is, you know?
It kind of
Anything
is.
that's so deeply entrenched in the 90s, I think that's a period piece.
Yeah, it kind of is. And not to say that it's anything like majorly wrong with Fresh Prince, but when we had that conversation about Power Rangers, it was up against Ed, Edd n Eddy, which we agreed was so timeless, and that gave it the win. So I feel like it's something we have to consider at least a little bit.
I mean, we're going to go with JoJo's anyway. Like, we're not going to delete
Yeah, I just want to explain why.
No, yeah. I feel like we owe it to those that don't know what it is or why we love it so much, but we do.
I'm not of the, delusion that I think JoJo's is going to win this tournament and be considered the best TV show of all time, but it's in these early rounds, it's really hard to beat.
Well, I mean, I feel like the best TV show of all time, asterisk, according to us.
Of course, because this is a 64-spot tournament. We obviously can't just definitively say that anything's the best TV show of all time in this situation, but that's what we're aiming for here, is that
this is
closest to
our best TV show, not yours.
that. Right.
You at home, listening.
I think we agree JoJo's moves on to round 3.
It does indeed. So, okay. This next round is, it's going to be an interesting one.
Hmm.
Not for the reasons you think, either.
Okay.
Friends versus Monday Night Raw.
Okay, so here's the thing.
There's been developments.
The day we're recording this, episode 2, which was part 1 of the tournament, just came out, where we discussed Raw versus Parks and Rec. I was listening to that episode and noticed that when Parks and Rec versus Monday Night Raw first came up, we were both in agreement it should have been Parks and Rec. And then you changed your mind and started really heavily defending Raw due to its legacy and pop culture influence, which I still don't think is valid enough to consider it a better TV show. But something happened since then that has very much soured you on the WWE brand.
They fired my favorite wrestlers. Fuck WWE. Friends advances.
Yeah, I made my stance on WWE very clear in round 1. I have absolutely
You
no problem
can't
with this.
fucking let go Samoa Joe, Billy Kay, and Peyton Royce without thinking it's going to affect me in a negative way. Okay?
So you know what, WWE? Fuck you. You don't get to win our tournament in this podcast.
Yeah, fuck you. You suck. I'll see you next Monday when Raw airs.
As is the life of a wrestling fan.
And it goes on. Now, next round. Okay, this one could actually be quite divisive. Twin Peaks versus Stranger Things.
Oh, man. Oh, that's more similar than I thought.
These shows are very similar. Paranormal period pieces where there's a lot of creepy stuff, there's a lot of comedy, there's a lot of characters.
Oh, wow.
But
This is actually really difficult.
here's the thing.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to pick.
I love Twin Peaks. I love it to death. But
Oh.
Season 2
Oh,
was
I know
a
where this
weak
is going.
point in the grand spectrum of Twin Peaks.
A little bit of context for anyone that didn't maybe watch Twin Peaks or just doesn't know this, even if you did see it. Season 2, there was a point throughout it, I'd guess around the middle of it, where the original showrunners of David Lynch and, remind me the other guy's name?
Mark Frost.
Mark Frost, were no longer working on it. And
Their names were in the credits, but spiritually and ecumenically, they were other places. David Lynch was, I think, working on Lost Highway, and Mark Frost was just, mentally checked out, I'm pretty sure.
And to those with a keen eye, it's noticeable.
So say, for instance, the show is about the murder of Laura Palmer.
Yes.
Who is Laura Palmer's killer?
That's the whole show.
That's the whole show. And then, because of network executives pressuring David Lynch, they decided to just reveal this and have done with the story a couple of episodes into Season 2.
Yep.
So then, where do you go? Where do you go from there? We still have episodes. We still have things to do.
Season 2 is how long?
Oh god, we should put this into fucking context. Like, it's a lot longer than season 1. Twin Peaks, like, it had the pilot. It had the first episode, which was like the one that set it all off. And then you had season 1, which was 8 episodes.
Right.
But then season 2 was 22 episodes.
Yeah, so when you get like maybe 6 episodes into season 2 and they reveal the killer,
yeah,
it's like, what do we do now?
And that's when the reins started to slip off a little bit. You had characters go off into different towns and have stories that you really don't care about. You had other characters come in that are like from the past, and it's like, why do I care about you? And then Heather Graham shows up, and it's like, why are you here? You're clearly a replacement for another character that left.
Oh yeah, and then what sort of happened here is that like, now we as the audience know, and some of the characters know who the killer is, but now we have to chase him down, find him.
And that takes like 2 episodes, and then they do that. That entire story is brought to a definitive close, and then it just kind of meanders. They keep changing when it's on TV, like what time slot it's on. They put it in the graveyard shift. Eventually it gets cancelled. So then David Lynch returns on his big white horse to direct the final episode, sets it up with a massive cliffhanger, but then it's cancelled. So you don't see anything for... I don't know what the gap was between the end of season 2 and then the movie, but you had the movie.
Wasn't it... the movie.
Which wasn't, like... It was supposed to give you answers, but really it only answered maybe 1 or 2 things, but then it gave you like 50 other questions.
Yeah, but really it was made by David Lynch.
It was made by David Lynch, so that didn't help anyone. And then 25 years later, season 3, also known as The Return, limited series, that has 18 episodes.
And now, here's the other thing. Now, again, I have not seen season 3, but you have, and every time I've asked you, how is season 3? You don't know how to answer me.
I still don't. I still don't.
That's the thing, and I'm not saying like, oh, it must be bad, because clearly you would just say it's bad if it was bad, so that can't be it.
It's not bad.
No, but that what's the word? Ambiguity?
Ambiguous.
Ambazinga. That
ambiguous.
But I meant like ambiguousness. There's another word for that. Ambiguity.
Ambiguity. God
damn it.
And fuck you.
What?
Sorry. I was doing you. I was being mad as you.
Yeah, that makes me like, I don't know. Is it better than Stranger Things?
Season 3, The Return, left me feeling very confused. Stranger Things has never done this. Stranger Things never did this to me.
No.
As much as I love Twin Peaks, I love it to death. I will die on this hill that it's one of the best TV shows ever made. Stranger Things, it never really did this to me. I've only ever enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take that turn, but some people are nervous about the fact that there's going to be a season 4 because people feel like season 3 was a good ending.
I'm going to leave this in your hands.
Well, it feels like you're very torn, where I'm
saying that the majority of Stranger Things is very good and left me with good feelings.
Yeah, I
do have conflicted feelings regarding Twin Peaks, so I don't know if that's actually a detraction or not.
I feel like when you're just comparing head to head, it says a lot. Obviously, I mentioned the season 4 worries that people have, but I can't knock a show for something that hasn't happened yet. So, I feel similarly to you, and I feel like, as I just said, not having that same wavering feeling about one of the shows says a lot. And I feel like
you know what? No, I just realized. There is one bit of Stranger Things Season 3 that still confuses me to this day.
What is it?
It's that scene in, I think it's the final episode, where Dustin and his girlfriend sing the Never-Ending Story.
Okay.
Why was that scene necessary? In the grand scheme of things, they were on a deadline. They had a clock. to, like, get this code
Oh, I get what you're getting
before the world literally dies. But then the only person who could know the answer is Dustin's, like, far-flung girlfriend, who up until this point we thought didn't exist. But she's real, she's a nerd like him, and the only way that he's able to get that code is if he does a full rendition of that fucking song from the Never-Ending Story.
To appease her.
And it's like, people have died. Billy's dead. And you're fucking just singing Never-Ending Story while there's fucking evil Russians underneath Hawkins. Like, that's no, shut up. Give him the fucking code.
I thought it created, like, a comedic, like, dissonance.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Fair enough. But does that one scene weigh the same as the faults that come with season 2 and the weirdness that comes with season 3?
I have purely negative thoughts about that. I don't have purely negative thoughts about Twin Peaks.
But again, that's one scene.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's characters in
How does that scale?
Return that are really, really, really cool. And I can't tell you who they are, because it's spoilers for you, because you haven't fucking seen it yet, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to.
I don't think so.
Twin Peaks for me, then.
Really? So you are sticking with Twin Peaks?
I'm sticking with Twin Peaks. I nearly wavered there, but then I remembered that fucking dumb scene
Does
from
that
Stranger
one
Things
scene
3.
really detract it that hard?
For me, yes. I'm
Wow.
that petty.
At least you said it. I'm really unsure what to do here, so I think we might have to go to a coin flip.
Again?
I mean, we're gonna run into this.
Just pick one. I said pick one. Don't fart into the microphone.
That's what happens when you put me on the spot.
You get nervous and you release gas?
Yeah, it's a fear fart. I don't know, man. This is so
Resident
difficult.
simp time.
Yeah. I'm actually very curious what they're going to pick on this one.
I have no clue. It could go either way. I think maybe they'll lean towards Twin Peaks, but...
Well, because you recently showed them Twin Peaks, but they already liked Stranger Things, didn't they?
I'm unsure of the timeline of events regarding that.
Fair enough. But I know that Ellie likes Stranger Things.
Yeah, we both love these things. Like,
I feel like
that's
they're
why
going to
it's really
be in
hard
a
for me to
similar
pick.
situation that we are. It's tough.
The vote is in. Twin
Okay.
Peaks advances.
All right. I'm
There
not
we
upset
go.
about it. I just didn't know what to vote.
Can't knock it. We'll see
Sure.
how far it gets. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If they go on to say the impact that it had, like,
Okay. It's similar to JoJo's in that way.
Twin Peaks shaped a lot of modern television.
That's fair.
It shaped fucking Stranger Things. Like,
Actually,
this
I
was
didn't even
Stranger
consider
Things
that.
before Stranger Things.
I didn't even consider that. You're right. Stranger
Like,
Things
you know about Twin Peaks before you watch it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, there you go. All right. Cartoons. SpongeBob versus Jimmy Neutron.
Ooh.
SpongeBob. The quality of the jokes in SpongeBob outweigh the quality of the jokes in Jimmy Neutron. And it doesn't, like, make me uncomfortable to look at SpongeBob.
Remember what I said about
Kinda
Simpsons?
makes me uncomfortable to look at Jimmy Neutron.
Remember what I said about Simpsons?
Honestly, no.
I feel like its decline is going to bite it in the ass.
How much of a decline is it even still being made?
SpongeBob, absolutely, and they've greenlit spin-offs despite the final wishes of its creator to not do that.
Oh, Steven Hillenburg?
Yes.
Let's
Although
see.
I'm not going to hold that against this show because that's not this show, but still.
Oh, okay. There's an entire section on Wikipedia dedicated to the decline in quality.
Mm-hmm.
So they say that it's pinpointed after the release of the movie and Hillenburg's departure as showrunner.
The first movie?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a long time ago.
There's been, like, what, 3 or 4 movies?
Yeah, something like that.
But then, the memes from the early SpongeBob.
You mentioned this about WWE, and I cannot, in good faith, credit a show for memes.
They cannot in good faith create a show for memes.
Fuck off. That's not the show. The show didn't make memes. People made memes from the show. It's a separate entity.
But it comes from the show.
I don't care. I don't know
okay,
how much
then.
more
What the fuck
bluntly
are
I
we
have to
even
say.
doing, then? What are we doing? If you don't care, I don't care.
Because it's not the show. The show didn't say that snippet of the screenshot that you just referenced, that meme. It's not. He's not even doing that in that screenshot. So it's not like the show made that meme. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, but I don't care.
Fine. Still, I'm going to go. And plus, look, if we're going to get into the meme discussion, you really think there are no Jimmy Neutron memes? There are fucking thousands.
I know there's fucking Jim Will's No Trombo memes. I know that. I know Jimmy's mom. We talked about it in the first episode. The first television tournament episode. You know.
I have a hard time voting for these long-running shows that dipped so hard, especially so early.
You want to really put Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius ahead?
Yes.
You know what? It killed that 70s show. It really pissed off Ellie, so why not make it go further? Really fucking put that nail in. There's a big fuck you to the audience.
Hey, you never know where their allegiances lie. Maybe they're agreeing with me, or maybe they want to stab me in the neck right now.
Leave a comment.
Are you on Team Stab or Team Cheer?
Are you on Team Sponge or Team Boy? They're on neither team. They've tuned out. They're gone.
Yeah.
See you later.
Bye. What do we got next?
Cartoons. Oh, so many cartoons. Dexter's Laboratory versus Archer. Dexter's Lab. I don't like Archer.
That's right, you don't like Archer. For the same reasons that I said against Rick and Morty, the humor's not for everyone, whereas I feel Dexter's Lab is much more accessible. I'll go Dexter's Lab.
The cartoon advances. See you, Danger Zone. See you later.
I love
Danger
Archer.
Zone.
I just want to reiterate.
Like, I never got that joke.
Danger Zone?
I never got it. Why does he say that?
Because he's at heart, he's a fucking fanboy for action movies, and he's constantly referencing them.
But why does he just say Danger Zone? I know it's the song from Top Gun, and I know he says it to Lana, but why does he keep saying it to Lana?
He says it whenever they enter a zone that one might consider dangerous.
Oh. Wait, really?
Yeah. He says Danger Zone thousands of times in that show. It's not just the one time.
No, I know it's a recurring thing. I was just confused as to what the joke was.
It's literally that.
So just because I didn't have context, I didn't understand it.
Yeah, there you go.
I thought they were just literally just sitting in the office and he was like, Danger Zone.
No. No.
What do you mean, no? Don't fucking say it like that. Like fucking, no, duh, you idiot. Of course it's not.
Does any joke in a comedy happen with no context?
No context clips of Jimmy Neutron on Twitter.
What's the next matchup?
You're mad at me, aren't you?
No.
No, he says and cries.
It's just one of those conversations that I know where it's going to keep going.
I wanted to stop. Alright, what do we got? Oh, okay. Powerpuff Girls versus Black Mirror. I don't know, man. I really don't. We had this conversation before where you've said that you haven't watched Black Mirror.
Yes, but I can recognize it's got to be high quality because everyone loves it.
But then when I tell you about episodes, you're like, you're speaking gibberish. It means nothing to me. These are hieroglyphs on a wall.
Did I say that?
When I was about to tell you the synopsis of the Striking Vipers episode with Anthony Mackie, and you were just like, duh. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really sorry. It's just I'm bad. I realize I'm in the middle of a sentence, and I realize that you're going to think, oh, he's making fun of me. But it's like, I don't mean to. These are just what it sounds like in my head.
I don't know, man, because,
here's the point, okay? If I were to tell you about all of these episodes, like, if I were to just give you synopses of various episodes, would that even convince you of anything?
No, because
Because I really like striking vipers.
I believe you, and I know a lot of people do. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't even think that's necessary, because I know there's clear, obvious quality to Black Mirror. It's just not a show I'm probably, well, I don't know. I never say never.
Don't say you're never going to watch it. Oh, God, you're going to do that thing again where you say, I'll watch it one day. And then the one day is in 2019, 99, 87 too. The year that never happened.
You say that as if I was lying.
You lie to me all the time.
Nah. But, fuck you for one thing. Now you fucking put the idea in my head that we are advancing too many... No. Listen to me!
Why are you yelling at me? I'm sorry.
You put the idea in my head that we're advancing too many cartoons, and now I feel fucking obligated to vote against this cartoon.
Cartoon's really good.
It is really good. So is Black Mirror,
I guess. Dexter's Lab in the next seed, so, you know.
I don't know what to vote for.
Depends which Cartoon Network original you prefer, honestly.
I don't know which...
Okay, here's a question.
Hmm.
Do we factor in extended media?
What do you mean by extended media?
There's the original Powerpuff Girls series.
Yeah.
Then they did another one.
No.
Yes, they did.
No,
they did a new one.
No, they didn't. No, I mean, I don't... No, we're just talking about the one show.
Oh, okay. They're also doing a live-action movie, you know.
They're doing a live-action Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
That sounds like a horrible idea.
Did you know that they were originally called the Whoop-Ass Girls?
I don't know if that's true.
No, it's true.
But I believe it.
It's literally on the Wikipedia page.
Fair enough. Well, we discovered, talking about Dragon Ball Z, that Wikipedia is not necessarily...
There's a fucking image of this fucking sticker with early designs and it says Whoop-Ass Stew on it.
Oh, you're right. Nobody has Photoshop.
Oh, get fucked. Get fucked. You fucking idiot. Go look at it yourself.
I don't want to. You can't
then
make me.
Fine.
I just want my dessert.
What?
I don't know. I'm devolving at this point. I don't know what to vote for here because there's conversations to be made about Powerpuff Girls is enjoyable by children and adults alike. Maybe. I don't know. How many adults have I talked to that like Powerpuff Girls? None.
Hi. Hello. What am I? Fucking chopped liver?
But I mean, that were adults when we were watching it.
I watched an episode like yesterday.
That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like our parents and shit.
I don't have kids.
Our parents and their generation.
Why would they watch Powerpuff Girls?
Because it was on in the house and we were looking at it. I'm just saying. God damn.
You want me to go ask?
My brain's melting. I
can go ask if you want.
Fucking, I don't know. What do you think?
Some episodes of Black Mirror are really good.
Okay.
Some are not interesting. And then others give you a fucking gut punch.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say the same for Powerpuff Girls? Does it ever leave you feeling, like, depressed or...
Well, I think we talked
like you've
about
just
it
been
around
through
one
an hour of, like, mental anxiety.
We talked about it around one... I mean, obviously it's a children's
Or, like, you feel
cartoon. You're not gonna
dirty
get
after
that.
watching Shut Up and Dance.
Obviously, it's a children's cartoon. It's not going to give you that same existential sort of vibe, but...
Hey, you say that. Courage the Cowardly Dog gave plenty of people crises. Why is that not in this tournament?
I don't know. But, I don't know. It's
Resident Simp time.
This one's so... like, different.
It is really different, and I feel like that's my fault for the way I've structured this whole tournament
Well, yeah,
so
the
far.
bracket's randomly generated. That's not...
I mean, yeah, there's a fault in that design. Like, it should be noted that every time I've posed a decision to Ellie, their first response is always like, oh shit, or oh fuck, or like, they somewhat panic at this.
Well, to be fair, every time we've given them a decision, it's because we're in that same boat.
You know what? That's fair. Uh-huh.
So,
the verdict is in.
okay.
Black Mirror advances.
Okay. All right.
That's surprising to me. I really thought they would have gone Powerpuff Girls.
I'm not too surprised. Ellie's got a... Is Black Mirror really a horror show?
Oh yeah, at times.
Sure, so
100%.
I mean, Ellie's got that horror twinge to them, so...
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, next one.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
There you go.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I'm going Always Sunny.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No.
What?
No way.
What? No. Nay, I say.
What? No.
No, ma'am, we're not.
No, man, you're not. You're not going for Always Sunny.
I am.
Why?
What did Dragon Ball beat in round 1?
My Hero.
Oh, yeah. So that one was more of a definitive, like, shonen versus shonen. I stand by what I said in round 1, where Dragon Ball is iconic and great, and I'll always love it, but it's not better than most things.
I fell off Always Sunny, I'm not gonna lie. Like, later seasons are not as good as you like to think.
Sure, that's probably
I'm not
true.
even current with it. Like, I don't even know. Like, the bit that I fell off is honestly when Dennis left.
That's a thing, yeah.
Because even by that point, like, the characters have been so fucking, like, horrifically flanderized, where... And I know that happens in a lot of shows. It comes from The Simpsons, flanderization.
I was going to say Dragon Ball does it.
Mm,
Yes.
Who?
All the side characters.
All the side characters.
And you can say that about Goku and Vegeta as well.
I honestly don't...
And
like,
then you have
show
to
your
take in
work.
consideration Gohan's brief rise and tremendous fall.
Show your work.
The entire Buu saga?
Is that in reference to flanderization or Gohan?
Both.
Explain.
Tien shows up for 5 seconds in the entire Buu saga just to get beat up. Yamcha's
Well, I
non-existent.
mean, by that point, like, the Tien, Yamcha, like, Krillin crew, they weren't ever going to be able to compete.
They start in Dragon Ball as critical, like, main characters.
Dragon Ball is a different show.
Not technically,
Yes, absolutely.
but I mean, it's the same series.
No, it's different. We're not including that in the Dragon Ball Z discussion.
Fine. Even at the start of Dragon Ball Z, they're trying to be considered still main characters, and it very quickly turns into they don't matter ever at all anytime they show up at all.
Yamcha never mattered anyway. He was killed by a fucking Cyberman.
Which was the immediate red flag.
I don't understand what your argument is.
So these characters turn into one-dimensional versions of themselves.
No, they don't. Vegeta
They
never
do.
turned into
You're
a
just
one-dimensional
ignoring-
version.
You're ignoring so many elements by saying they don't.
Vegeta has always been going through an evolving character arc.
Yeah, like that one where he was bad and then sort of less bad and then became good for like a second and then got bad again, but then he was good. I can feel the scorn that you're aiming at me through the microphone.
If your idea is to genuinely annoy me, you're getting there. You're fucking getting there, mate. Listen to me. I know what you're trying to say about Vegeta as a character, alright? But there's the fucking character evolution. In each saga, he's gone through different motivations and different obstacles that change the outcome by the end of it. Each season, he's almost a different person entirely. So I don't know how you can say that flanderization plays a part for him. Goku's entire point is that he's I don't know what the term is. I think it's a flat character arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's everything like around him changes because he himself always stays the same. I don't think that's a fault at all. I think that actually plays to the strengths of the side characters and the villains, etc.
It would if the side characters got any development other than Vegeta at all.
Gohan got development. Remember when he was Great Saiyan, man?
Development, maybe.
Oh, come on, man.
Like, what? What do you want from me? He goes through 2 sagas not doing really anything, but hinting that there's something awesome there. Then in one saga, we get that payoff, and then immediately it is gone. He just stops mattering from one episode to the next. Like, you cannot tell me that's fine.
I don't think that detracts from the merits of the show.
I think it absolutely does. Because the show tried to go from Goku to Gohan and then immediately backtracks. Immediately! Goku was
We've
dead.
been friends for this long, and we've talked about Dragon Ball for these years, and this has never, ever come up before.
Because, on the whole, I still enjoy Dragon Ball. I think it's great, and I'll love it till the day I die. But it cannot be called the best anything.
I think it's better than Always Sunny. I get more enjoyment out of Dragon Ball consistently than I have with Always Sunny. Like, my original point was that the characters have been flanderized to the point where it's not even funny anymore. Like, they make Dennis into a literal serial killer.
If we're going to say that the highs of Simpsons outweigh the 2/3 of it that sucks, we have to consider that same element for Always Sunny.
And I think the highs of Dragon Ball Z are better than the highs of Always Sunny.
I disagree.
Resident Simp time.
They're going to get this one and be like, what?
And I have no idea where they're going to go either, so...
Yeah, I really don't know.
I feel like this is a problem we haven't anticipated, is that we will both feel so strongly about all of the shows that get through. Like, the further we get into this tournament, the more arguments we're going to have.
Something is going to get heated eventually.
We've already been close with that today. I just don't know, man. I think it's tricky.
I don't know. I love Dragon Ball, but it's there's so many things about
the hype moments.
Yeah.
Goku turning Super Saiyan. Trunks fucking dicing up Frieza. Android 17.
Oh, come on. Listen, I know you love Android 17. You know as well as anybody, because you love Android 17, what? What?
He's really cool. He's a really cool character, really cool design. He had a really good fight with Piccolo. He served his purpose in the plot because he was always going to get absorbed by Cell as soon as Cell was introduced. I'm not saying he's a key player. I'm saying that he's part of a show that I really fucking enjoy. Both the androids, not even just 17. 16, 18... the whole crew.
I think 16,
they each have their own strengths.
I think 16 provides more to the show than 17 does.
No.
I don't know.
I mean, he provides, like, a story for Gohan to fucking snap and become Super Saiyan 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Right.
But...
and then you have to consider that. Like, come on, Super Saiyan 3, at that point, what are we doing?
Eyebrows gone, all put into the hair.
Right.
This is really cool.
3 lost me. I never really thought 3 was that cool.
Lest we talk about Super Saiyan 4.
There's so many people that like Super Saiyan 4, and
I'm one of them.
I just don't understand it.
I mean, that's GT. That's a different...
yeah, that's not really affecting the Z discussion here, but just in general, I don't understand the enjoyment of Super Saiyan 4. I thought it was stupid.
I mean, based on what I've heard from Super, it gets stupid, but...
oh, yeah, of course. But at least they're not Monkey Man.
It's not the fact that they're just, like, monkey men. It's the fact that they become just... it's just different hair colors now.
Sure, yeah, that's also dumb. I'm not going to argue with that.
Super Saiyan 4 was at least an entire, like, aesthetic overhaul.
I just think the way they...
I just really like the colors and how they complement each other.
I just think the way they do it is stupid. I think I don't
I'm
really
sure you
love
can say the way they do it is stupid. I'm just arguing from, like, an aesthetic point of view, because you were like, what are we doing with Super Saiyan 3? He looks ugly as shit.
It does.
It's not that bad. What is Super Saiyan 2?
Super Saiyan 2 is also stupid, to be fair. It's really just one with lightning.
Okay, lightning is pretty cool.
It's not the worst one by any stretch, but it's also kind of like, really?
No, now it's red. Oh, now it's blue. Oh, now it's silver. Oh.
I'm not defending those. You're absolutely right.
Do you remember, like, before even GT was announced on the internet, you had, like, I think it was Dragon Ball F,
AF.
where you had, like, all of these elements.
No, that was after GT, because it played off of Super Saiyan 4. But
oh yeah, I think it might have been called F, might have been called S or something. But they had like all of these edits of like Super Saiyan 9 and shit, and it was like really cool looking.
It was AF. It was Dragon Ball as fuck. No, I think it was supposed to be like After Future or some shit.
No, you're right. Yeah, that was it. That was a time.
But yeah, I remember.
Remember Always Sunny AF when fucking Rob McElhenney had fucking Super Saiyan hair?
Super Saiyan Max 6.
I mean, the fact that we're talking at length about like the Dragon Ball like universe as a whole, that it's shaped us more than Always Sunny. I know you hate the idea of legacy, but you have to give it some credit.
But Dayman.
I know Dayman, but Cell.
Eggs.
All of Cell.
Eggs in this trying time.
Great Saiyan Man.
Magnum Dong.
I remember that character from Dragon Ball, Magnum Dong.
That was during the Garlic Jr. arc, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Garlic Jr., that did happen.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did Ellie respond?
No.
Let's coin flip it.
Oh, fine.
Because
I'm gonna do this.
I don't feel strongly enough about Dragon Ball to...
I can't believe we're doing this. I thought for sure this would get into the fucking final four.
I'm hard-pressed to say that that's going to happen.
I remember saying at the start of the first episode, this can make or break a friendship. We're not leaving this tournament the same way we entered it.
No, certainly
I
not.
hope you know this.
Yeah. The podcast might end as soon as this tournament's over.
All right, what's what? What's heads, what's tails?
Heads is Dragon Ball because of the hair.
Tails.
Hey!
Always
again,
Sunny advances.
I don't want to make a misconception here. I do love Dragon Ball. I always will. I just don't think it's the best at anything.
The next bracket is Rugrats versus The Ricky Gervais Show. Do you want
Rugrats.
I'm making pudding at 3 a.m. or do you want Mr. Dilkington?
You earlier in this episode mentioned, can you recall an episode off the top of your head? I don't know if I can for Rugrats. A full episode? I remember jokes.
I don't think that's fair though, because the way Ricky Gervais Show is that you don't have individual episodes, you have conversations within those episodes that are famous.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Dilkington.
Yes.
I couldn't tell you what episode that was from, but I remember that conversation from the show.
So they're kind of in the same boat, because I really don't remember episodes of Rugrats. I remember jokes. Or moments.
I remember the one at the golf course.
I don't. What is that?
I don't remember most of the details, but I remember they get to like the final hole and like the kids, it's like a giant like windmill or some shit, and then the kids go inside and they realize that, oh yeah, if you get a hole at like the end of the course, you get like a free game or something. But the way they set it up was that they had like newspaper stuffed in the hole so that you could never get it.
I do actually remember this.
Yeah, and then the kids go inside and they take out a newspaper and then they throw balls in and they get like 15 free games. And the park owner has like a mental breakdown.
Yeah. You know what I just realized wasn't included? Hey Arnold.
Meh.
Fair enough.
Never really bonded with that show.
In and out.
I never bonded with that show. I'm sorry.
I actually remember more. The reason it popped in my head is because I actually remember more episodes of Hey Arnold than I do of Rugrats. But versus Ricky Gervais. That's such a weird comparison.
I've laughed so fucking hard at all of these conversations that they've had. I remember Carl Pilkington's movie pitch.
Just all of Carl's diary.
All of Carl's diary, yeah.
What was it, like Monkey News?
Monkey News. Just
and it's not even just
dynamic of having Carl being like the idiot. No, I don't want to say an idiot, even though he was literally in a show called An Idiot Abroad. But I don't want... He's the ditz. Then you have Ricky, who's like really hard on him, and then you have Steve, who's like the middle ground, like the third man, who gives like context. And yeah, he's like the mediator, but then he also beefs with Carl sometimes, and it's really funny.
It's so easy. Carl is like Andy for us.
Yeah, literally. It's like if me and you, or if me and Liam had a show with Andy.
No, I think it's more accurate to say me, you, and Andy, because I feel like if it was you, Liam, and Andy, it would just be two Rickies and Carl.
No, I would be Steve in that analogy.
You think? I don't think you would.
I'm not as harsh on Andy as Liam is.
I mean, by comparison, no one is. Everyone's a Steve compared to Liam, but you still bust his balls.
Yes, but, you know, I'll play mediator happily between those two. They're a pair. Do not separate.
Anyway, we can't just get lost in comparing him to our own lives.
Yeah, because that's only relevant to us and no of the other listeners. Sorry, guys. We have friends that we like to talk to.
Having this discussion on air, we should just have, like, episodes where we just get one at a time, but we just bring those guys on.
Yeah. So this is Andy, everybody. He's a little weird little freak.
This is our Carl Pilkington, Andy Kwan.
He eats gammon off the floor.
Got his little food tray.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I don't know how to compare the Ricky Gervais show to Rugrats.
I think Ricky Gervais show wins it for me.
I was leaning that way, but I don't know why.
It's given me a lot more serotonin than Rugrats has.
I think that's fair. I'll agree to that.
Mm-hmm. So, we have 2 more seeds left in the second round.
Okay.
We have the OC versus One Punch Man.
Another very difficult comparison.
Yeah, we're at the back half of, like, these shows are way different now. They're not just cartoons anymore.
Yeah, I don't, Alright, okay. So, One Punch Man, good anime, deconstruction of shonen.
I've not seen the second season, have you?
I have, it's still good, but a lot of people...
Is it still good?
I say so. Some people say the animation quality dipped, and that was a big detractor for some people because they changed animation studios.
I don't know about that, honestly, as like a...
And also the arc that
have we put anything through so far based entirely on its like aesthetics and its visuals, or have we done
earlier
like a whole?
In this episode,
like...
you were mentioning something about that about one show, but I don't remember which.
We have really bad memories.
My short-term memory is so shit.
Yeah.
But
my point is that like I don't think we can like count a detraction being like a. Oh, I was saying it about JoJo's how like background characters look like circles.
Oh,
sometimes.
that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah, but no, what I mean is like I don't think just because they changed animation studios, I don't think we can count that as like a detractor.
No,
because it's still
I
the same show, isn't it?
I wouldn't say so.
It's not tonally different. It's not like Saitama, Genos, and Roy, who was added in by the executives.
or their new dog. But I don't know. How do you think OC compares to One Punch Man?
It's a very entirely different show, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a lot more funny than what I remember.
Okay.
Like, I found these screen caps on Twitter the other day. It was like the 2 like main girl characters, Marissa and Rachel Bilson, her character. It's been a while.
That's fair.
Like the 2 main women, all right?
Hmm.
And one of them's like, do you remember that time when those nerds made us watch that movie about the gay men on the mountain? And then the other woman says, "Do you mean Lord of the Rings?" Yeah.
That's good. Here's the thing. You saying that made me think they both have this balance of the dramatic and the comedic. It's just
the dramatic. We never even touched toes on the fucking like storylines in the OC and how fucking balls to the wall insane they go.
Yeah, but I don't. Diving into those would be such a time thing. I think it's not necessary because they do these things. They both do these things of comedy and drama, but they do so in such culturally different ways. You have anime drama and anime comedy going up against Western drama and Western comedy, which is so different. And I think it's maybe not a fair comparison, but I feel like the OC's is more globally recognizable.
I mean, what you say is a meme in itself.
And I don't just mean the things that the show itself did. I just mean the way that they present them. Anime comedy especially.
Oh, we should probably say that what you say thing was never intended to be funny. That was meant to be
no, that
became
serious. Funny through SNL, but
yeah.
But it's anime comedy especially is so you have to like kind of be in the know to find it funny.
Yeah, I hate to draw the line and be like kind of a gatekeeper, but there's a difference between like normies and people who watch anime, you know?
It's more the thing, if you don't already watch anime, you might not find it funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think if someone's first
you have to be
anime
familiar with the medium.
If someone's first anime is One Punch Man, I don't know how much they're going to love it.
It depends on what you're into and what you like.
Whereas I feel like the OC, that you're not going to run into that problem as much.
You know, it depends on whether you like the drama and the stories and the characters also, because I feel like that's an important thing. If you're not interested in any of the characters, why would you be watching?
Also, you're going to know this better than I will. How dated is the OC?
It's very mid-2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely. The soundtrack, like the places they go, like the issues they face, it's 100% like middle of like 2000s. Like,
so how much does that play into this?
It doesn't detract from it. We're closer to that than we are to like Fresh Prince or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So
this is a tough one.
It really is. But then again, you've never seen an episode of OC, have you?
No, that's not true. When you first showed it to me, I started watching it. I just didn't continue it.
Do you remember anything from it?
No.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But you remember One Punch Man?
Yeah, but that was also more recent. Like, just my time watching it was more recent in life.
I own every single episode of the OC on DVD.
How often do you revisit it?
Not often at all.
Does that say something?
I feel like I haven't seen it in the last couple of years, actually. I need to make it a point to rewatch it.
Does that say something?
I also haven't revisited One Punch Man because, again, we had that blockade with Season 2.
But that's for a different reason, I feel.
Yes, it is.
So, there's a lot of things to consider with this one. I didn't think this matchup was going to be so comprehensive.
Neither did I, honestly. I thought you would go One Punch Man out of the gate.
I don't know what to vote for. Which I feel like has been happening a lot in Season 2. Or Round 2.
Season 2 of the tournament arc.
Yeah.
Alright, coin flip.
One Punch Man's got to be heads
because when Luke punched Ryan in the head, he was like, "Welcome to the OC, bitch."
Oh, I thought we were going to go One Punch Man as heads because he's bald.
It's tails. One Punch Man advances.
Wow. Wow. All right.
Another cartoon. Alright. That leaves it down to
the last matchup of round 2.
Which we know what it is.
But for the audience who might not know,
Scrubs versus The Office.
I have to say Scrubs.
Fine. I do too, actually, because oddly enough, not only have I just been seeing clips of it on TikTok, I've randomly seen it on TV. I've seen it air on television.
There you go.
I've never had this before. It's like the universe is like listening or some shit. Even though I don't believe in any of that shit, it's really, really weird. Really weird coincidence.
I feel like Scrubs is a dark horse to win this entire tournament.
Scrubs advances, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye, Jim.
So, we finally have... What did I say? Salacious 16?
Yeah.
Stupendous 16?
I don't know if we gave it a name yet.
Sweet 16.
We'll call it the sultry 16. We didn't do an ad break. Fuck.
Here it is now. Go.
Sorry!
And we're back.
That was a really good bit.
Fuck me.
So, moving back up the field, we have The Simpsons versus Teen Titans. Simpsons for me.
Oh, God.
Now do classical gas.
It's that same recurring argument of
Sideshow Bob steps on a rake.
long running but dip versus dense but consistent. And I know, yes, those 9 seasons were really, really good. Fucking
Homer
legendary.
being too fat to do anything because he wants to get on disability, but then he has to like save the world.
You can't ignore 2/3 of it being bad, like really bad. Do you
I
remember
am going to ignore it, Carmine.
But do you remember
I am the Lizard Queen.
You have to acknowledge, you have to look it in the eyes.
We have acknowledged it plenty of times. It's not changed anything.
But you keep going back to the good parts.
Because they're so fucking good.
If you literally put the two parts on a scale, it's heavily outweighed by the bad.
I'm not putting it in front of Teen Titans. Teen Titans is really good, but emotionally and physically and ecumenically, I've connected more to The Simpsons.
I've connected to
regardless
both.
of how bad it is.
I've connected to both is the problem, and I cannot. It's like an annoying, heavy breathing goon, like leaning over my shoulder.
Well, at the start of Duke Nukem, where it's like,
yeah, like leaning over my shoulder every time we talk about The Simpsons.
For me, it's got to advance.
I can't let it go that much.
When
farther.
was the last time you watched an episode of The Simpsons?
Pretty recently. I've been watching some on Disney Plus. I'm going through it chronologically.
When was the last time you saw Teen Titans?
That's not fair because there's not an easy way to watch it.
No, there's a way. You can stream it.
Not an easy legal way to watch it.
What I'm saying is Simpsons is more prevalent in your mind, regardless of how bad it is, because the good shit is good.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
But you're literally rewatching it now.
Yeah, but
that's
something circumstantial.
No, it's a relevant piece of thing, because you always ask me, when was the last time you saw OC? When was the last time you saw One Punch Man?
That was just for that round, because that round was so close and difficult to narrow down for me, but
this one?
I connect to them both very, very strongly, but I think I actually might connect to Teen Titans a little bit more. It was in my...
I can't believe that. I'm not in this world right now.
It was during a more formative part of my life.
So is The Simpsons.
Not as much during that part of my life. Simpsons actually came a little bit later for me.
For me, The Simpsons has been constant. All the time, every day. Always make a reference. Always think about it. Always make a joke.
And I think that's...
Teen Titans? Not even thought about it recently, honestly. Till this tournament.
But I think you're so heavily biased towards those good parts of The Simpsons that it's kind of clouding your judgment about the rest of it.
This isn't like for the benefit of the union. This is for us too. These are our own experiences.
Yes.
I don't have to be objective for the sake of integrity. This is literally what we want and what we enjoy.
I don't know, man. I can't.
Do you want to do the coin flip then?
Yeah.
Didn't we do it last time?
For The Simpsons. Because I remember saying heads.
No, we can't do it again. Resident Simp.
Because I remember saying heads for Homer's head.
Simpsons or Teen Titans?
I feel like I know which way they're going to go, but...
This is why it's important to have a third person.
I just can't imagine...
This fucking tournament arc is a criticism on the American political system. Two-party system, you're fucked either way. Third party? That makes things a bit different.
You cannot possibly ignore the fantastic drama in Teen Titans. Yeah, but Donald, you can't... The Simpsons had such good highs. You can't ignore it. Just imagine Biden and Trump at a debate talking about this exact point.
You did the theme song behind Puffy and Mayumi? Will you shut up, man?
And then, that theme song was so influential that they got their own show. I mean, that has to be taken into consideration. Yeah, but Donald, that's 9 seasons of top quality comedy.
Who is who in this, this scenario?
For some reason, I've decided that Biden is on Simpsons' side and Trump is on Teen Titans' side, which I really don't know why I did, because I'm on Titan's side.
I mean, you just shot yourself in your own foot there.
That has nothing to do with the actual debate at hand.
LA, come on!
If
LA!
LA does not respond soon, we gotta go coin flip.
No, we'll move on to the next bracket and then we'll come back to this.
No.
I'm not doing a coin flip for The Simpsons twice in a row.
Why? What does that matter?
Because then what's the point of the tournament? We can just coin flip every answer.
The point of the tournament is to see where we stand, and we're torn on this one.
I'm not standing down. I will convince you.
No!
Or you will be outvoted. We're not leaving it to chance.
Why not? We've left so many other decisions to chance. This is, again, your bias coming through, or you just don't want to go against... You don't want The Simpsons to lose.
I don't want The Simpsons to...
It's got a 50-50 chance of winning.
There's also got a 50-50 chance of losing, and then you add fucking Kurt Angle to the mix, and chances of winning drastic go down.
Oh, I used to know that whole promo by heart.
And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastic go down. See, if normally you used to go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
You're going a little out of order, but yeah.
So then there's a 75% at best at beating me.
Then you had his
And then
66 and
minus my
2/3%.
I got 129 16 chances percents.
Alright, has Ellie responded yet?
No.
We're going coin flip.
Remember that episode where what I love about The Simpsons is that they start episodes in one place and then
Yes.
they will immediately go to another place, and that's the main episode.
Yes.
Like, remember when Homer was at like a steak eating contest,
I do, actually.
and he was having a competition with the truck driver, but then the truck driver dies because he
Yes.
had beef poisoning.
Yes, I
So
absolutely
then
do.
he has to take over the trucker's job, and he drives with Bart, and then
If it makes you feel better, I have a real physical coin here.
but how is that any better? I've just been using an app.
I know, but this is not computer
Are you
generated.
just bragging that you have money now, Scrooge McDuck?
Yeah, oh, look at me in my quarter. No, it's
What's
just
a quarter?
Technology plays no factor. It is purely the universe and physics deciding this.
Fine.
Heads, which is heads and tails.
You pick.
I'm gonna go with my Homer's head is heads. So Simpsons is heads, Teen Titans is tails. Let's see what happens. All right, the big reveal. Simpsons was heads and Teen Titans is tails.
Yeah.
It's heads. See? Nothing to
I'm
worry
not a
about.
gambling man, but at the same time, I'm not happy with this because I know that you really want to vote Simpsons out.
There's too much bad to ignore. It cannot be decided the best show with that much bad. And it's really
advances.
bad.
Is it even? Have you seen
Dude.
every episode of it?
Have you?
Yeah. How can we decisively say that it's absolute garbage? There might be some hidden gems in there.
Come on now.
Amazing World of Gumball versus IT Crowd.
Ugh.
Hmm.
So now I have to think strategically here.
Wait, why did you decide that was gross?
No, that wasn't a
You
gross sound.
sounded repulsed by
No,
that.
no. That wasn't a gross sound. That was an inquisitive sound. I have to think strategically here.
Fuck it, alright, Churchill.
Which of these two has the best chance of toppling Simpsons?
Oh, fuck you. You're making me look like a villain.
Hey, I'm still on Team Scrubs.
Good for you. I don't want no Scrubs. Scrubs ain't gotta get no love from me. Except it does, because I love Scrubs.
Exactly.
I only
don't
just
know.
realized
All
this.
right. Gumball versus IT Crowd. This is weird. What do you think?
Both have merits.
Yeah.
Both have demerits.
What you
One of them
haven't
is
said
indeed
much.
a TV show.
You haven't said much demerits for IT Crowd yet. What do you think?
The creator is a raging transphobe.
Okay.
That's been in the back of my mind all this time.
Sure.
I don't want his fucking cum stains on my tournament.
Such a horrifying way to put it, but yeah. What about
The
demerits?
integrity of the shows.
What about demerits for Gumball?
Too short.
Episode length, you mean?
Yes.
I mean, that's
No,
just...
that's not a demerit. What
No.
am I talking about? It's not a perfect show, but if you had to ask me what I don't like about it, I honestly got nothing for you.
I think I'm gonna go Gumball. Which is so weird. I did not think when Gumball came up in round one that it would get this far, but I think I'm gonna go Gumball.
Based on that alone, yeah, Amazing World of Gumball, it advances.
Cool. All right. I'm very
All
surprised
right.
by this.
This is this is an interesting fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right, Futurama versus regular show.
I
For
can't.
me, this is a lot more clean cut as Futurama for me.
Yeah, that's Futurama.
I love regular show, but Futurama's more. It does more.
Every time regular shows come up so far in this tournament, it's been like, Oh, okay, yeah, I guess it's better than that because of this and that, but this time it's going up against a heavy hitter. Futurama's just too good.
It's like a chocolate cake versus a chocolate biscuit.
Which one's which?
Futurama's for cake, obviously. There's more to it. There's a lot more sugar content.
Oh,
and it
okay.
will make me fat.
I didn't know where this metaphor was really going, but alright.
One is good, but then the other one is
Just better.
really good.
Yeah. Futurama's just an awesome show.
Really is. Really is. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Friends. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, finally.
I don't like Friends in the back half. Like, I consistently enjoy JoJo's.
Nothing says a fitting end for Ross Geller. More.
Oh my god, we've not even touched on that. Ross Geller is such a fucking cuck.
He's really... In the early seasons, his weirdness makes him funny. And it stays that way for, I'll say, quite a while. Towards the end, he's actually kind of the worst.
Even in early seasons, the whole we were on a break shit.
They were.
They are both fucking idiots. They're
Yes.
both dumb idiots. They both made really dumb things. It doesn't matter if they were on a break or not. They both did wrong shit, and neither of them wants to admit it, so they divide it into a fucking civil war, drag it all out in front of their friends, and make everyone uncomfortable, including the viewing audience.
And then there's that one...
Fuck both of them.
Then there's that one scene where Chandler uses his brain lasers to try and shoot at Rachel, but he accidentally hits Phoebe, and she becomes paraplegic.
Canned laughter just crawls in.
It's JoJo's.
I just imagine the fucking transition music from Friends after that scene.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck Friends. It's JoJo's.
I love Friends, and I like it more than he does, but I also have to go JoJo's.
Next one, Twin Peaks versus Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. It's fucking Twin Peaks, bro. Sorry, no. No siree. It changed the landscape of television. Twin Peaks did. Jimmy Neutron, just another drop in the Nickelodeon puddle.
I really like Jimmy Neutron, but I gotta be honest with myself. You're probably right. I'll go Twin Peaks.
Yep. Alright. Next up, Dexter's Laboratory versus Black Mirror.
I feel like at some point Black Mirror's gotta hit something that we gotta go, oh, well, hold on. But I don't know.
I think it's Dexter's Lab that's gonna be knocked out here.
Yeah, it's weird that Black Mirror keeps going up against cartoons that we like, and we have to keep voting against them.
You've not even seen an episode.
I know.
It advances.
It's so weird, yeah.
What the fucking irony is going to be if the fucking greatest TV show of all time is something you've never watched?
I know, it's so strange.
I feel like we have to keep it in for that alone.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia versus The Ricky Gervais Show.
I have to go Always Sunny this time.
Ricky Gervais Show. Come
Really?
the fuck on, man! Sorry, that probably spiked the audio really badly.
Why are you
oh my
so
God,
like
it did.
against Always Sunny out of nowhere?
It's good, but then it fucking sucks in the back few seasons. If you're literally
But
going to
that's
go
just
for that
really
for
a
The
couple
Simpsons, we're allowed to go
seasons.
for that with Always Sunny. Ricky Gervais Show was consistent.
But there's like 12 good... Listen. If we're going to keep saying the 9 Simpsons episodes that were good are outweighing 20...
Not 9 episodes, 9 seasons.
Like 4 seasons that are shit, then fucking what are we doing trying to say that Always Sunny isn't as good because of 4 seasons opposed to the 12 that were good?
The entirety of Ricky Gervais has been consistently better.
It's not still running, is it?
No.
So, if...
3 seasons.
Okay, 3 No, listen to me.
39 episodes.
If 5 good Teen Titans seasons don't outweigh 24 bad Simpsons seasons, you cannot tell me that 3 good Ricky Gervais seasons outweigh, 4 bad Always Sunny seasons? No.
Fine,
no way.
Always Sunny advances then. Moving on. Fuck's sake. One Punch Man versus Scrubs.
It's
Scrubs
Scrubs.
wins because it's a dark horse.
No, but genuinely, I think it is a better show.
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is.
You're so mad
It objectively balances fucking drama and comedy, and it makes you feel things.
Guys,
One Punch Man never made me feel anything.
Guys, Brooks is mad at me.
I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at my life.
Why?
The Simpsons versus Amazing World of Gumball. Oh, Simpsons is fucking out now because the 28,000 seasons are all so shit, but it outweighs the cultural impact of the fucking incredible shit that came from the first 9 to 12 seasons.
Why are you so mad?
Fuck you. That's why.
Why?
This is a test of our friendship.
But why?
Why are you crying?
I'm not.
Why are you crying, Carl?
Why are you so mad?
It's not fair.
What isn't?
You're discounting, like, how good the first seasons are.
But you're not counting how bad the rest is.
Why would I
love
include the
those 9
bad? And it's
seasons
so
as if they
good.
were my own 9 children. I think they're fantastic. But
Okay,
then...
Von Trapp.
But then someone came into my house and gave me 24 more children that I really fucking hate.
Why would you hate your own children?
Because they're not mine. These are random children that just showed up one day and they called themselves siblings of my children, and I don't agree.
I'm confused. What's the analogy?
The 24 bad seasons to the 9 good ones. Like, I get it. I get what you're saying. The 9 seasons are so fucking good. They're better than... If those 9 seasons were separated and their own TV show, it would be the best show ever because those 9 seasons are that good. But you are ignoring the enormous tumor that is the rest of the show.
Fun fact about me is that when I get really stressed out, I start pulling out my leg hair.
Are you pulling out your leg hair right now?
I'm pulling out my leg hair right now.
Are we going into the next round at this point?
We might as well finish it off.
All right. So Gumball vs. Simpsons. You in round 1.
There's no convincing you with this, is there?
Just hear me out. You in round 1 were the stark defender of, ironic pun actually, of Gumball over Game of Thrones. Where...
Stark.
Yes. You were talking about its artistic achievements, how it blends mediums, and all these amazing things and stays consistent. You talked about in round 2 and 3, I think, how it's this like triumph of children's cartoon programming and has stayed as such its whole run.
I'm looking up the article just so I can maybe find a criticism. Because there has to be. There's no such thing as a perfect television show.
And then you add that, where in the last round you said you can't even really think of something you don't like about it. Where I can think of 24 big things I don't like about The Simpsons. And yes, maybe it's a little unfair that I'm like on a mission to get The Simpsons kicked out because of its bad seasons. But I just feel like you can't ignore them.
Do you know there's a movie coming out?
Of what?
Gumball.
I did not know that.
Apparently it's to alleviate the displeasure from the cliffhanger ending of the last Gumball season.
I didn't even know there was a cliffhanger to be had.
Oh my god, there's so many episodes of this. I didn't realize.
But if the first thing that comes up is a cliffhanger
But they're
ending,
each they're 11 minutes long, but there's fucking 240 episodes.
Oh yeah, because they do that like double episode thing.
Yeah.
So
And there's like 40. There's 40 episodes in a season, and there's been 6 seasons.
that's strong. That is heavy and strong and big and powerful.
It advances. C'est la vie, The Simpsons.
An ode to Homer. I do not want to make this sound like I don't like The Simpsons. I love that show to death. I just cannot ignore its humongous problems.
Amazing World of Gumball advances to the semi-finals.
There you go.
Never thought I'd say that.
I didn't think it would get this far.
But here we go. Futurama versus JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Okay, I have no fucking clue what to do here. I don't know what to do.
So
I don't know what to fucking do, Carmine. Help.
I'm starting to lose track of time. Everything's a flat circle. But in one of the rounds when we were talking about The Simpsons, it was the Teen Titans. So last round, you were saying to me, what's more prevalent in your mind right now? And as much as I love Futurama, I don't think
You make JoJo's Bizarre Adventure videos for TikTok daily. Surely that doesn't count.
But even if I didn't, you know what I mean?
When was the last time you sat down and watched it?
Pretty recently, I was watching the dub of Part 4.
Is that any good?
I love it.
A fun fact, I've not actually watched a complete season or part of any of the dub.
I think
Would
it's
I enjoy it?
hilarious. I think probably.
Is it hilarious because it's bad and weird?
No. There are parts that are genuinely good.
Huh.
And then because it's JoJo's, hearing it spoken in English is more ridiculous.
But then they change the names so they're weird.
But from parts
we should say this because a lot of the names of characters and abilities in the show is based off of musical acts, and I think there may be one or two movies. There's a copyright issue, so in the English localizations, Crazy Diamond becomes Shining Diamond, and
King Crimson is Emperor Crimson.
Yeah. And it gets really weird because then Limp Bizkit becomes Soggy Biscuit.
Flaccid Pancake.
Oh, does it really?
Flaccid Pancake.
I thought it was Soggy Biscuit.
I hope that's what they do when the anime comes out for Part 6, but what I saw reading the fan-translated manga was Flaccid Pancake.
Right.
No. The fan-translated manga had the real name. It was online. I saw that it was Flaccid Pancake. But anyway,
there's a bit of a weirdness with that dub. Are we considering that with the show, or are we going purely just Japanese source material?
I'm really just going what the show is, so I'm really just going to go with the Japanese aspect of it. But what is it up against? I already forgot.
Futurama.
Futurama.
I've had emotional connections to Futurama, but it's never made me cry real tears.
Has JoJo's?
Yeah.
There you go. I agree. Times. Well, I think Seymour's episode was I probably cried at that, but...
Oh yeah, everyone did, because I love dogs. The dogs are fun. I'm thinking about the episode now, and I'm And then
they
really
play
sad.
the song at the end. It kills me. But that's one episode, whereas JoJo's hits me many times. And it's funny. And I know what we were saying earlier about anime comedy, but I feel like this leans more towards universal absurdist humor.
But then Futurama does absurdist humor too. They literally have celebrity guests, but they are heads in jars.
But then we have to compare. All right, so they have the same style of humor, somewhat, and then JoJo's offers so much more. Think about all the times you were emotional, that you laughed and cried with JoJo's, you got hype with JoJo's. Did Futurama ever make you hype?
It made me laugh really hard in a hype way.
In a high-pitched way. I love Futurama. I think I have to go JoJo's.
God, I was really hoping at least one of the Matt Groening properties would get to at least the semis, but...
if Futurama was not going up against JoJo's, it would go to the next round.
Yeah, it's JoJo's for me. I've sunk so much money into merchandise on it. It would be weird.
That too. It really has taken over my life. Even if I wasn't making TikToks about it, it would still be this.
There we go. All right. Twin Peaks versus Black Mirror.
Okay, I feel like we finally have something that can take out Black Mirror here.
Do we?
Do you not agree?
It harkens back to the whole Season 2 was weak and Season 3 left me feeling confused.
What did Twin Peaks just beat in the last round?
Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius.
Okay, well...
Before that, it beat Stranger Things, and then before that, it beat Clone High.
It's had a really easy run up to this point, hasn't it? No, the Stranger Things was a tough call.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go Twin Peaks. It's finally got a hit at some point that I just have not experienced Black Clover, so it doesn't
Black
have that
Clover.
same...
Black fucking Clover.
Wow, yeah, Black Mirror.
Wow. I don't even know what the fuck Black Clover is.
It's an anime.
You fucking weeb.
I haven't even watched it.
Twin Peaks is formative. Black Mirror is also formative. These shows are really similar. It's just each episode of Black Mirror is standalone. And
they vary in tone, whereas
They
Twin
do.
Peaks is consistent.
ish.
You know what you're getting with a Twin Peaks episode.
Oh, no, you don't.
Well, in the sense that... let me rephrase. You know what you're getting in the sense that you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, it's consistent in its mystery.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think Twin Peaks has to advance here.
Yeah,
Because I've
I
not
like
even
it.
seen every episode of Black Mirror, because some of them are just like...
Has anyone? That's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm
think
sure
Ellie
there's someone,
has.
but I feel like what I mean is the majority of people that watch Black Mirror, I don't know if... I think they just pick and choose episodes.
Well, thing is, they come out in seasons, and each season has like 3 episodes, and then they'll do the occasional like Christmas special.
All right.
Yeah, they do Christmas specials, and they're really fucking weird.
I believe you. But
The
I
guy
think
who gets trapped in a snow globe, and it's a nightmare.
I think we have to go Twin Peaks here.
Yeah. I mean, the showrunner is Charlie Brooker, who's a fantastic comedian. He's one of my favorite funny men. So,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
Give kudos to Black Mirror for making it this far. I've not even seen every episode, but yeah.
It was an impressive run, Black Mirror.
You
But
beat out Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, and Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. The fucking kids' TV show Hitman of Black Mirror.
it was like an assassin. It heard your complaint about cartoons and was like, I can take care of this.
Hey, leave it to me. Alright. Always Sunny in Philly versus Scrubs. I have to go with Scrubs.
Yeah, your odd distaste for Always Sunny is finally caught up.
I'm
And
not discounting the good shit on Always Sunny. It's just I think the good shit of other shows is more good than the good shit of Sunny.
And I think that is very accurate when comparing it to Scrubs. I think Scrubs never
Let's
had
go
that.
with Scrubs. All right. This is it. We have 4 TV shows left.
3 matchups left until we have the best show.
I think we also have a consolation match.
Sure.
Yeah, I set that up for whatever reason.
All right.
Okay. Amazing World of... I have to say it again and
The
again
elite-
every round, and I didn't think it would get to this point.
The Elite Four of television history. The Mount Rushmore of TV programming.
Someone do a Photoshop of Gumball Watterson next to Jotaro, fucking Dale Cooper, and John Dorian, please. The pinnacle of television. Amazing World of Gumball versus JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I didn't think we'd get here.
Okay, Gumball. You have had a historic run. You toppled a mammoth in the last round.
I feel like I have to go for it based on that.
I have to go JoJo's.
Oh no, think about it, Gumball. It took out Game of Thrones in the first round.
To which
It
everyone
took out
said,
The
huh?
Simpsons in the other round. It took out the IT crowd and Ed, and Eddie.
It's
This
really
is
not...
the fucking Terminator of the tournament.
Listen. You're right. Gumball has knocked out some aces, but we cannot consider that with each new matchup. We cannot put
There is
those...
a weak spot with JoJo's.
What would you say that is?
The pacing.
I disagree.
Really?
I think the pacing is... Part 1 is 9 episodes. And yes, there is a not as interesting part of those 9 episodes, but I don't feel like that's a pacing issue. I feel like that's just... because
There's a pacing issue with part 2.
You've said this before, and I still don't agree.
I just think that it feels a lot more like a slog than it does part 3, and I feel like I know why. It's because part 2 is one continuous story, with each element, like, carrying over to the next one. Part 3
Whereas
lends
episode of
more
the
to Monster of the Week kind of structure,
Yeah.
wherein you just have to know the bare elements. You don't have to remember every bit of detail.
I still don't think there's a pacing issue, though. But
I guess that depends from person to person, but...
Yeah, that's
I've seen JoJo's like through and through at least twice, because I saw it once on my own, and now I'm watching it again with Ellie.
Yeah, I am also in the...
I've yet to
multiple-
rewatch part 5 because circumstances being what they are. But
Yeah, you're just not there yet.
Yeah, I don't
I'm-
know.
I'm on
I don't
multiple
know.
viewings of JoJo's as well, and I've never even sat down to watch Gumball as much as I've enjoyed the bits I've seen.
I can hear people in the crowd being like, oh, these two doing a TV tournament? Of course it's going to be JoJo's in the finals. Like,
And
why
look,
wouldn't
you're
it
right.
be?
JoJo's isn't perfect, but I feel like it's just so much more impactful than Gumball. And maybe that's unfair because Gumball is a children's show that does 11-minute episodes, but when we're just head-to-head comparing two shows, that's what it is.
It's got to be a coin flip.
I got the coin here still. What's what?
Gumball is heads.
I cannot believe there's a 50-50 chance that Gumball is going to the finals. All right, let's see what happens. Gumball is heads, JoJo's is tails. The flip is going. Caught it. Flip it. All right, let's see what it is. I'm actually nervous. Why am I nervous? It's tails.
JoJo's?
JoJo's.
I salute the amazing world of Gumball. I didn't think you would get to the fucking semi-finals over The Simpsons.
It toppled the Simps, man.
What more is there to say?
It's a legend. I have to salute you, Gumball. It was just not your time.
But who meets JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in the finals? Is it
cannot.
Twin Peaks or is it Scrubs? We weeded out the cartoon shit.
Yes, that is very much true. Here's an interesting thing for you and folks at home to consider. JoJo's did Twin Peaks.
It did.
And then
Part 4
more.
is inspired by Twin Peaks.
Yes.
The Rohan Kishibe OVAs are fucking inspired by JoJo's. JoJo's? Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks inspired the opening sequence and probably some of the stories even.
Oh yeah. So you have, if you want to watch Twin Peaks, you can watch JoJo's.
No, come on, man.
And then there's other stuff if you don't like Twin Peaks. But we're not comparing JoJo's to Twin Peaks.
We're not at the finals yet. We're comparing Twin Peaks to Scrubs. Both have faltering seasons.
That is true. The difference there being it was a 1-season drop-off for Scrubs. And
It was also a 1-season drop-off for Twin Peaks. Not even 1 season, half a season.
well, half a season that dipped, and then
And depending on the dip, like, some of it was painful, yes, but other parts were actually
fine.
weirdly funny.
Yeah, it's not
Like,
bad outright.
Like, oh god,
But then
Benjamin
then you-
Horn becoming a Civil War general.
Yeah, that was something. But then you have the weirdness about season 3.
I'm dying. I'm fucking foaming up the mouth to say things to you about it.
Is there anything non-spoiler that can explain the weirdness of season 3?
There's a scene where one of the main antagonists is trying to get to a guy to, like, interrogate him.
Okay.
But to get to him, he's, like, holed up in a warehouse in, like, the middle of nowhere.
The guy he wants to interrogate is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's surrounded by a gang of, like, burly, like, bearded men, like, dangerous people.
Okay.
One of them looks kind of like, do you remember Nathan Jones?
Yes.
He looks kind of like him.
Okay.
He's like the big guy.
For anyone who doesn't
Protecting-
know, Nathan Jones was a wrestler. He's a big, strong boy.
He was in Fury Road.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he meets this group of, like, tough men. And you think
Mm.
it's going to be like a fucking, like, John Wick scenario. But
Mhm.
instead, he has to arm wrestle the leader of the gang. And then what proceeds is some of the most sadistic, tense, weird character scene I've ever seen.
Okay.
I can't say who the character is because that spoils things.
Gotcha.
But then, Jim Belushi is in this.
Okay,
He plays a mafia man.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little
Is
person.
this the same scene?
No, it's
Oh.
across the scenes. There's a little person who's an assassin called Ike the Spike.
You've sent me a clip of that, and I hate it.
Because it's gory.
Extremely.
Yeah.
And I hate the thought of being in that scenario. Just this man just walks into your office and just starts stabbing you. That is fucking horrifying.
While an old hip hop beat plays over the fucking background.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, how many seasons? It was 8 seasons with Scrubs, right? And then the last one was the one that wasn't good.
8 good seasons, and then the 9th season was med school.
Do we have to consider volume? That's 8 good seasons.
We have been, haven't we?
Yeah, 8 good seasons. That's more than double all of Twin Peaks, which we can't even agree was all good.
Well, it's more about... That's not really fair. The opportunities afforded to Scrubs were a lot more beneficial than any of the opportunities towards Twin Peaks. That had a lot of executive meddling, which wasn't fair.
True, and you're right that the universe interfered with Twin Peaks a lot, but what we're discussing is
and yet
the
it
end
somehow
result.
Still managed to maintain a fan base. I feel like this is something we've left out. It managed to maintain such a crucial, strong fan base for over 25 years for it to then come back.
Yes.
That can't be understated.
No, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm understating that, but I don't...
The impact that it had is incredible.
Yes.
I don't think Scrubs had much of an impact.
Certainly not as much. I think you are going to get a lot of people that remember Scrubs fondly. That's the other thing. I don't even think a lot of people remember it for its subpar finish. People really just talk about how good it was.
Well, people talk about Twin Peaks as a whole, being like, it's really weird, that's really cool.
But you do also get, because of the weirdness of the last season, I've seen a lot of people say, or you've told me a lot of people say, that they're all kind of weirded out and torn about the last season.
So, hey, some people think it's pure art on television. Like, there's one particular episode where it's like, it starts with like 10 minutes of story, and then the back like 50 minutes is insane, fucking monstrous visuals about like an explosion from a nuclear bomb.
I think I've heard
That
about
somehow
that.
tore a hole in reality that brought all of the evil that we know in the world today into the current domain.
Are there also people that think all of season 3 is shit garbage?
I haven't seen anyone who said that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But that doesn't mean to say they don't exist. I just haven't seen anyone who said that.
So, I mean, fan reaction is one thing. I really do want to try and keep it to just the contents of the show, though, which makes this, again, tough, but... And I know I memed on it, saying, oh, I want Scrubs to win, but I do genuinely, like, all joking aside, I think I have to go with Scrubs.
Why over Twin Peaks? What is the decider for you?
I think it's long-running consistency, because we've usually in this tournament run into a lot of instances where it's either long-running or consistent, but 8 good seasons is a hefty amount. So that, not a lot of shows that we've had here are both. And Scrubs, I feel, is both.
But again, I go back to the argument that it was afforded 8 seasons. If Twin Peaks was afforded, like, the same amount of content, I feel like we'd be having a different conversation.
Maybe, but
I just feel like it's unfair to do that because it was kneecapped by executives.
Teen Titans was also kneecapped. It got canceled outright and didn't get to finish. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that's just how the dice roll.
Well, that
Like,
was the same for Twin Peaks, but
what I'm saying is that as unfair as it is that Twin Peaks got that treatment, the end result is just what we have. We can't play what if.
I think what we got from Twin Peaks, based on its influence on television, not even just pop culture, like the way television is made, it did a lot, and it was only like 2 seasons. It was a drop of water in a pool, but it was a... Hello. Hi there.
Popcorn car, motherfucker. I hate this guy.
How you doing today?
He drives by, he just goes up this block every day like 15 times. This guy doesn't work. He just drives all day, and he's got a revving engine, and every time he starts slowing down, starts fucking backfiring, and you can tell when he hits the speed bump in the road because you just hear all fucking day with this guy.
Do you think he likes Twin Peaks?
Twin Peaks is really good, but one really, really good, really, really short season, a longer season that had a small dip in the middle, but a long dip. It was a majority of that season that was like that. And then a third season that people can't really decide if they liked or not.
That's just me. Some people can say they definitely like it.
Sure, but like you said before, we're not talking about the greater good here. We're talking about the two of us.
I prefer Twin Peaks over Scrubs.
I prefer Scrubs over Twin Peaks, as much as I love Twin Peaks.
Resident Simp.
I know which way she's going to go.
Sounds like Resident Evil. Resident Simp 4.
0.
This is what, like the 6th time we've delegated? Resident Simp 6. I don't know what the Resident Evil 6 thing was like. I've not played it. It's garbage.
Yeah, apparently 6 and 5 and 6 are not good.
That's another conversation for the video game episode.
Yeah, we'll do that. Probably not a tournament, but...
We should take this time to maybe, in memorial, like, prematurely died television shows that weren't even included in this bracket that we've, like, remembered. Like, oh, fuck, why was that not in here?
Yeah, like you mentioned Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm in the fucking Middle, bro. That should have been in here instead of fucking... Itaewon Class? No.
Or Real Akuma.
Fuck off, Real Akuma's lovely.
Sure, but... let's be
Malcolm
realistic.
in the Middle, bro. You're not the boss of me now. And he talks to the camera. That's...
great.
That's the fucking blueprint for The Office and Modern Family, one might say.
I love Malcolm in the Middle, and it revealed to me that I've always been a hidden weeb, because even before I really got into anime, that one shot in the opening where there's a clip of some old anime was always my favorite part.
It also has wrestling in it, doesn't it?
It does. That's right.
Yeah. I won't say which wrestlers, because that's unfortunate, but...
Another show that got left out, Bob the Builder. Couldn't even say that with a straight
what?
face, I'm sorry.
What? You know about Bob the Builder?
Did you think I didn't?
That's like a purely British thing, isn't it?
We super had it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
The little fucking claymation guy.
Yeah. And his different construction vehicle friends.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Bob the Builder,
what?
can he
fix it?
Oh, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can.
You know, I went to fucking UK #1 at one point.
What do you mean?
In the music chart.
That song hit the top of the charts?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's like it got on the Billboard #1.
That's hilarious.
I don't know why.
I mean, it is a bop, but I don't know.
It's not.
No, but yeah, we had that show. I didn't know it was a British thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I think it was.
I referenced it kind of with the subconscious assumption that you wouldn't know what it was.
Really?
Yeah. I thought if anything that show was like Canadian.
Let's double check. No, it's British.
Huh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Usually, I think the reason why I didn't know that is because usually British cartoons that we take still, like, there are accents.
Oh, we forgot about Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, yeah, but I'm joking when I mention these kids shows. I really had no experience with Thomas the Tank Engine as a kid. It never was something in my life.
They thought I had autism because I kept talking about Thomas the Tank Engine. That's not a joke. I was genuinely, like, misdiagnosed with autism because I just kept talking about fucking Thomas the Tank Engine. I had, they had, autism specialists come to my preschool, and they had, a little book, monitoring my movements and that, because they thought I was autistic.
Because you liked Thomas the Tank Engine?
I would not shut the fuck up about Thomas the Tank Engine, bro.
But how old were you?
4,
That's
5.
Extremely normal!
Oh. Maybe that says a lot about my parents.
Oh my god, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard!
Hey, that's quite traumatic for me now, actually, in hindsight.
I mean, I'm sure, but that's
Oh, you
kinda
enjoy
hilarious.
this fucking show about trains, you little shit. You must have fucking autism or some shit.
Do you know about VeggieTales?
Oh, I know it exists, but we didn't have it here.
Oh man, that was a big part of my childhood. I was raised born-again Christian. So...
Wait, what?
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. My family's Christian.
I thought you were Catholic.
Why? Because I'm Italian?
Yes.
No, I'm not Catholic. My parents were raised Catholic individually in their lives, and then they both went to Christian, and then that's how I was raised.
Are you Christian?
I don't know.
No, I'm Carmine. Fuck off.
I don't know. That's a complicated answer that we can dive into.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll save that for the religious episode.
But the point is, I was raised with VeggieTales, which for anyone who doesn't know is a Christian claymation show. Not claymation, it's CG. Like one of the first fully CG cartoons. And
It's not aged well at all. It looks fucking awful.
Oh, it looks like shit, but I loved it, and I still kind of do love it. The songs, every episode had multiple songs. It was a musical thing, and I know.
Oh, you know what? I fucking learned about it from the Hairbrush song.
Yes.
So where is my hairbrush? And I thought,
because they would
this is
do
a cute
episodes.
show.
They would do episodes about Bible stories.
No,
where they
here's
would
the
just
thing.
recreate.
I didn't know it was a religious show at first.
A lot of people don't.
I thought it was just like fucking cute little vegetables and shit. But then it's like,
a lot of people.
God
don't.
is bigger than any monster. I'm like, I'm not so sure about that, buddy. Have you seen Godzilla?
A lot of people don't know it because they only know Silly Songs with Larry, the segment of the show where Larry would do an unrelated non-Christian song about his hairbrush or whatever. And then they would go back. That would be like the mid-episode break. And then they would go back to the story about breaking down the wall of Jericho by yelling at it. That's a real Bible story. That's how it goes.
Scream at it?
Yes.
Oh my fucking God.
The real Bible story is like they're going to the promised land, and then they run into Jericho, which is a huge blockade because it's a city surrounded by walls, and then they don't know what to do. But God says, "Hey, circle the city 6 times or whatever, and then scream, and it'll come tumbling down." Which then you think about, well, if they could just circle it, then they could just walk around it and go. But apparently,
their vegetables are really fucking dumb.
But this is the real Bible. That's how the real Bible story goes as well.
The Bible's dumb.
Breaking new ground there. But
whoa, we forgot about Umbrella Academy.
I haven't seen Umbrella Academy.
First season's really good.
I mean, we could. I don't know why this made me think of this because Umbrella Academy is not this, but there were a lot of anime that we left out also.
I've also not seen a lot of anime. What were you thinking?
That's true. That's true. Well, like Death Note. Oh, you've
not
never
seen
Death Note.
I
forgot we made that joke. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of the ones I would have put in there you haven't seen, so. Did Ellie answer?
No.
Coin.
Fine.
What's what?
You decide.
Scrubs is tails, because scrubs are, I don't know, butt clothing?
Yeah, good.
And Cooper thinks with his big head. All right. Heads is Twin Peaks, tails is Scrubs. Let's flip the coin and something that rhymes with Scrubs.
Fuck your mum.
Or that. Heads is Twin Peaks, tails is Scrubs. Let's reveal blah blah blah. Heads, it's Twin Peaks.
All right. Consolation
I really-
match: Amazing World of Gumball versus Scrubs.
I'm still gonna vote Scrubs.
Scrubs, fine.
There you go. Wow, there wasn't even
place.
discussion there.
Second place, rather. No, third place.
Yeah,
Get a
third place.
cookie. Good for you, Dorothy. All right. Final.
Yep. Time to determine what is, between us, the best TV show of all time. Either JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or Twin Peaks.
Let's analyze the path of destruction here. So, JoJo's has beaten Amazing World of Gumball, Futurama, Friends, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
What a warpath.
On the other side of the bracket, Twin Peaks has beaten Scrubs, Black Mirror,
Wow.
Jimmy Neutron, Stranger Things, and Clone High.
It's a much more varied list of opponents for Twin Peaks.
I think that says a lot.
No, you keep saying that, and I keep standing my ground. We can't account for that
Why not?
because it's not relevant to the head-to-head between the two of them.
The way you shit-talked Twin Peaks in the last round, compared to Scrubs, I feel like you're leaning towards JoJo's.
And not because of that. Although part of the conversation is the same. Although it's not a matter of 8 seasons of consistency. For me, it's actually a little different, where JoJo's has shown an increase in quality over time. With some exceptions. It's no secret to anyone that I'm not a huge fan of Part 7. But aspects...
Well, that hasn't been animated yet.
True, I guess we only are talking about TV shows. So from 1 to 5. All right, so then that point stands actually stronger. there is, I feel, an increase in quality over JoJo's run. Whereas if you look at Twin Peaks, there is a curvy line.
I would argue that the JoJo's has also curvature.
To an extent,
Based on
but
my
I feel
personal
like
experience, like
I
part
feel
5
like the
isn't as strong as
curvy-
part 4, and then part 1 is stronger than part 2, maybe, but then part 3 is the strongest, so...
Do you think part 1 is stronger than 2?
Jonathan, man.
I mean, he's literally stronger, but I feel like you're very alone in that opinion.
Love is stored in the muscles, bro.
I do love Jonathan, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about part 1. I'm just shocked that you said that. I agree that there is wiggle in the line of JoJo's, but I feel like the wiggling line tilts up.
Depending on who you ask, same could be said for Twin Peaks.
I suppose.
That final season has really fucked things up for it. Because if you can't categorically say whether you enjoyed it or not, I think honestly I did. It's just... You know, it's like the Mephisto thing. You know, you build yourself up to have all these theories and everything, but then by the end of it, you don't get any answers to it that you would have wanted.
So
but does that mean it's bad?
Was it a weird subversion of expectations?
It kind of left a lot of things unresolved.
See, that's a problem with me personally.
But it was solved in a follow-up novelle.
Oh, but then, but we're just talking about the TV show. And for me, unanswered questions is a big red flag. And that's me personally.
I'm looking around my room at all of the JoJo's art, and then also the Twin Peaks artwork.
Yeah, because you're big into both these shows. And I like Twin Peaks, but it's not anywhere near as big. But I'm going to try and not be biased in that sense. You're
the one who hasn't, finished it.
Right, but of what I've seen, I loved. But I think what you just said a minute ago about you can't definitively say if you enjoyed it or not, that last season... Can you say then that it's the best show, if that's how you feel about it?
I didn't enjoy part 5 as much as I thought I would.
But is it to the same extent?
Yes.
All right, well, fair enough. I disagree. I think
it's
part
all down
5...
to personal preference.
I think part 5 thrives despite having a weaker main character.
Well, it's not even that. It's the villain, a lot of the stands, honestly. A lot of the abilities of these characters.
Are some of the best in the series.
But then you also have Babyface.
Yeah, Babyface is
who
weird,
is a rapist laptop. How bizarre.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight, Babyface or
Bob,
the man from the other place?
I
think because of the blueprint it provided for other shows, which have then gone on to be considered the greatest of all time, I really have to go Twin Peaks.
But you can say that exact same thing about JoJo's.
The manga, not the anime adaptation.
But it's still the story.
No, it's a different medium.
But
if you want to say that we can't count the wrap-up for Twin Peaks Return in a novel, then we can't count the impact that the JoJo's manga had.
But the difference
we only have to count the anime.
But the difference there is that the source material is the same. It's the same story. It's just that now we have it in animated form. The story's the same. Whereas with Twin Peaks, you have to go out of your way after the fact to get a finish. Twin Peaks is more going backwards with that. The story's the same in the manga versus the anime. So, I feel
like... Is there any way of convincing you?
I'm not sure even where I'm at right now.
Well, you're objecting to me going for Twin Peaks, so naturally, you want to go JoJo's.
I think so.
Well, then I'm not going to deny it. I love JoJo's. I just think that Twin Peaks is better, personally. But I will acquiesce to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is in your court now. This is how you feel. This fucking deep fucking philosophical discussion on whether or not a fucking TV show is one of our favorites. It's a fucking bit of chatter, man. This isn't like the UN. What the fuck are we doing?
We got bitter during our chatter.
That's why it's called Bitter Chatter. Bitter Chatter is the best TV show of all time.
Boy, yeah. Let me just take one last objective look at both of them, right? So Twin Peaks, you have something very influential. Something that for 3 seasons over the course of 25 years affected a lot of other television. It affected a lot of people. It created its own little niche in the world. One of the differences also is that... Well, no. You can say this for both of the things, so I'm going to hold that thought. Then you take JoJo's, which is it exists and it's an entirely different part of the world, and I don't just mean geographically. But in the world of anime, it did some of the same things. These are actually much more similar than we might want to admit.
Again, Twin Peaks inspired a part of JoJo's.
Yes. Another very influential series. Touched a lot of things. Touched a lot of people. And similarly, created its own little niche. And fans of these series will devote themselves to them. And then other people don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Here's a point about Twin Peaks. It serves as a memorial to a lot of different actors. Because some of these actors, after they finished recording Twin Peaks, some of them died not having done anything else afterward. And then when the return comes around, I'll say it, the log lady, Catherine Coulson, was literally on her deathbed whilst she filmed her parts for it. She died not long after she filmed them. I think the gravitas of that adds to the whole theory of Twin Peaks being the best, because not only does it provide entertainment, it can also provide comfort. There's a lot of comforting things about having your work preserved for television, because you will consistently bring in new viewers. Like me. I was born after Twin Peaks, Season 1, Season 2, and then the movie came out. I only discovered it around 2014, 2015, which is a solid amount of time after it had already finished. And for me to feel so passionately about it now, that's a credit into itself. Because I now feel for these characters, this story, this special little dedicated corner of television that you wouldn't be able to say for a lot of other different TV shows, if that makes sense.
Yes. And I agree with the comfort parts. But the thing also is that I feel like the memoriam to the actors is coincidental. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't made for that purpose.
Some you could argue that they wanted to be in the new Twin Peaks: The Return as like a final wish before they passed on.
Sure, but I just mean like...
And then, yes, some of it is unfortunately circumstantial because they didn't know they were going to die.
Right.
They didn't know that The Return would be the last thing they ever did.
Right.
But whenever I look at the Log Lady or Albert, I just think they poured their heart and their souls into these performances to give you the best they could, and it connects to me on a different, like, emotional level. And then there's characters from the original series, Killer Bob. The entirety of that character is so phenomenally bizarre because he was never an actor. He was a set designer that got mistakenly caught in a shot for the pilot. But David Lynch saw that and thought, no, we don't remove that. We make him the main antagonist. And in doing so, they made one of the most terrifying fucking antagonists in television. Killer Bob is horrific, and the guy was a set dresser.
Yeah. I think another thing, though, is that while the cast of Twin Peaks is so strong and the characters are so good, when you look at JoJo's for that same thing, it's almost unfair because the multiple parts give you like such a heavy list. And while not every character is up that level, just by sheer volume, you're going to run into so many characters that you still remember and love. So that's a tough call.
I just think that it adds a different dimension, and yeah, one could be said that it's not fair because it's different mediums, but that puts it on another level for me. I think it's worth considering.
I'm definitely considering it. I just don't know what to pick necessarily, and I don't want to...
Either way, both of these shows are winners, so you really have to go with your gut on this.
I think the amount of delegation going into this is evidence to that. I feel like it comes down to what I personally enjoyed more, and to maybe the surprise of absolutely no one, I think that's JoJo's.
Can we have two winners?
I don't know.
What do we do here? We're stuck. Resident Simp has probably fallen asleep, so...
And I don't want to leave the finale up to a coin toss.
Oh, wait, no. They're alive.
All right, well, then let's see what they have to say.
Might give them a quick call.
Oh, sure.
The decision is Twin Peaks or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh!
We have spoken about this for nearly half an hour, and we can't decide. It's down to you.
How are you meant to?
We've analysed points for both, and they're both such strong contenders that we literally cannot pick, and we're not budging, and we're not putting the finale down to a fucking coin toss. So, you're our only hope, Ellie Wilmer. You must help us.
Oh, but they're both so good.
I know, we know. That's the problem.
So good for so many different reasons.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm nervous laughing.
It's okay, you have every right to be nervous. This is the finale of the Bitter Chatter TV tournament
It's
arc.
just the most important decision of your life.
It's very important.
We need an answer. From an objective, third party that isn't a piece of metal.
Okay.
And don't you flip a coin either, you have to fucking decide for yourself.
I'm not. I am staring at my wall in hopes of it bringing me a decision.
The wall with all of the BTS fan art on it.
Yes. It calms me down.
The best show.
I'm sorry to put you in an anxiety-induced situation.
It's okay. Spider Coup is to the rescue. But, I'm gonna say... Twin Peaks.
Why do you say this?
Okay. So, mostly because it's brilliant. Like, it's great.
Excellent, thank you very much for your input.
No, but also it changed TV
Mm-hmm.
like everywhere. Its impact was so big, and like I knew what it was before I knew it was Twin Peaks. I was like, oh, that thing's been referenced before in something I like. That thing's also been referenced in something I like. Then I watched the show and I was like, oh, look, it's the thing. Like, it's great.
There you go. That says it all. We have an overwhelming majority vote of 2 versus 1.
But also, JoJo's is wonderful and I love it so much.
That had to be said. Both reached the finals.
Yep.
And, we thank you for your input, Resident Simp.
You're welcome.
We'll be sure to call you back whenever we get into a situation like this in the future.
Okay, thank
Hopefully
you.
never.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just that this was a very anxiety-ridden situation.
It was. I'm gonna have to look at my wall some more.
Okay, I'll leave you to looking at your wall. I'm going to chat with my other friend, okay?
Okay, have fun.
Okay, goodbye.
The other friend.
Bye!
It has been decided.
Play the fanfare. Twin Peaks is now the best show out of these 64.
What a journey.
It's it feels like we've been doing this for 17 years, but yes,
These past 30 days, they've been fun, haven't they?
they've been real fun.
What a journey.
What a journey these 25 years have been. Well, I cannot say I'm upset with this decision. I love Twin Peaks. Obviously, second place.
Will you
ain't half
finish
bad.
it now?
I gotta see the movie and then I gotta find
Get the fucking... I'll buy it for you on DVD, you shit!
I'll watch it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed this odd tournament. Full of
What a way to
twists
set
and
up the
turns.
podcast.
Full of twists and turns that neither of us saw coming, and there was heartbreak and betrayal and monumentous victories.
We got heated.
We got very heated about Simpsons and Dragon Ball.
And Always Sunny.
And Always Sunny, shows that we both love.
You know what? I want to compare this because the idea for this series was based off of The New Day and their podcast, Feel the Power, wherein they also had a 64 show TV tournament bracket.
What won them? For them, what show did they decide was the good one to win? What show won their
Oh
tournament?
my fucking god, Carmine, please. Just say the words you want to say.
And to reboot there.
So their finals matchup was
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z
Oh my god.
versus The Price is Right.
What the fuck? We didn't even touch game shows.
We didn't. We have
Which
to go
I
back.
feel is fine.
We have to go back. No, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We have to go back.
Hold
That
on.
wins.
We'll do. How about this? I'll lend you this olive branch. Extend it to your face. I'm dying. We'll do a separate tournament of just game shows.
Yeah.
Because when you start
Because
comparing,
apparently we're the tournament podcast now. We're just
Well,
going to do
we'll wait a
50
while
different
before-
tournaments.
we'll wait a while before we do it. Because I feel like if we do any more tournaments right now, my brain's gonna explode. But comparing game shows to shows with a narrative is such an odd. I don't know. We would have had a lot of trouble with that. So what
They
did
voted
end
Dragon
up-
Ball Z as the winner, by the way, so suck my nuts.
Well, on one hand, you have Twin Peaks. We almost both picked animes.
Yeah.
That's kind
Anime,
of crazy.
for anyone who looks down on it, don't.
Yeah,
Shit. Yeah. Have
it's
that.
good. It's good.
good.
I know people. It's like, oh, you weebs. It's like, yeah, a lot of anime is weeb trash, and it sucks. I'm not even gonna argue that. A lot of anime is not great, but some of it, dude. Some of it.
Yeah, some of it is, some of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is on Netflix, depending on your region. So
Yes.
get on that shit if you wanna get involved with the hype train.
And yeah, when you first start it, it's gonna be fucking weird, but stick it out for
It's
a few
literally
episodes.
called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
If you can get into part one like I did and he did, then the rest the weirder it gets, the more you start to enjoy it.
Absolutely. There's a reason it got to the finals.
Yes. But the winner was Twin Peaks. That's awesome. It deserves a lot of praise. Same can be said about Twin Peaks. Go watch it because a lot of people have not seen it. It's fucking great. I know I spent a lot of time mentioning its faults, but that was just in the interest of debate. It's a great show.
And it wins the inaugural Bitter Chatter TV tournament arc.
The inaugural one that we will probably never do again, at least not to this scale.
Absolutely.
But I'm glad we did it. It was a good way to kick off this podcast, 3-episode adventure. And next episode, we will not be doing a tournament. So look forward to that.
And if you have any suggestions of anything you want us to talk about or anything, where can you do that?
You can either send us an email, bitterchatterpodcast@gmail.com. That is just the words, no numbers included in there. bitterchatterpodcast@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter. You can tweet us. That is at bitterchatpod. We also have an Instagram. You can gram us. That is at bitterchatpod. And that's it. We are currently available on Spotify and multiple other podcast distributors. We are waiting to be put onto other platforms such as Apple Podcasts. We'll let you know when that happens. But yeah, you can either see us on YouTube or on the go on multiple different platforms. Just search for Bitter Chatter. And if you're listening to this, you've already done that. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
You made it.
Congratulations.
And with that, I think it's time we bow out, and we will see you in the next episode.
Are we bowing out?
I think we're bowing out.
Okay, bye.
We've bowed. What just happened? Did you bow too hard? Oh no! Someone help him! He's overbowed! Someone call a bowulance! Oh god, I killed it.
Help me.
What did happen when you bow? What did you bow into?
My head.
He bowed so hard he hit his head. And then the monkey fell off the monkey bed. Oh god, it's back! Are we done?
It sound right, boy.